What would a chair look like if your knees bent the other way? Why do our noses run and our feet smell? If the number two pencil is the most popular, why is it still number two? Why do they call it common sense when it's so rare? Why do they put braille dots on the keypad at the drive up ATM? And why does SeaWorld have a seafood restaurant? You're halfway through your fish burger and you suddenly realize you might be eating one of the slow learners. These are just some basic questions. My name is KJ Osborne, and I want to welcome you, yes, you, to the show. Hey guys, thanks so much for being here. I hope everything's going well, and I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great week. As always, thank you so much for choosing to hang out with me and us on this Saturday afternoon. So it's always cool to hang out with you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Tamara, for being here. Appreciate you. And also, yeah, hope you guys had a chance to see the show last night. We had a fun show on a very interesting topic, the mantis insectoid aliens is what most people call them, I guess. But good show, fun stuff. So I hope you had a chance to see it. And also dropped a brand new video just a couple days ago, Thursday. So please, hope you had a chance to check that out. If you did already, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. And also, did you realize that Christmas is this week? Isn't that crazy? So if I don't get to see you on Monday's show, then Merry Christmas to you. Have a great one and a safe one and a happy one, and I hope everything goes well. Yeah, it's just a few days away. But I plan on having something going on this week. I'm not sure what, but for sure, like I'll post something for Friday most likely. Wait, Friday is Christmas, isn't it? I think Thursday is Christmas Eve. Friday is Christmas. Is that right? Two, three. No, I think Thursday is Christmas. Anyway, so somewhere around there. But yeah, I'll figure something out for this week. I meant to have something up on the Scariest Movie Ever channel this week. I wasn't able to do it yet, but I'll probably have that this week too. I promise I'm working on something. So anyway, all that being said, thanks again so much for your support also. So I'm able to continually do all these things I do, and I appreciate you. I've been here many, many years, and I plan on being here to the very end, if you will. All right, that being said, yeah, let's go ahead and get started, you guys. There's plenty to get into today, as always. So thanks again for joining me. I got the windows and doors open today. Our weather's crazy out here today. It's in the mid 60s where I'm at. It's really nice. The doors open, windows open. Chubbs J. Osborne is sleeping on the porch on one of the chairs out there right now. He's loving it. Loves this weather. So there you go. You're probably going to hear some loony bins drive by today since the doors and windows are open. But as always, his bags are packed and he's ready to go if they can ever find them. We're going to go and start with some headlines from endtimeheadlines.org. Major fault zone in America's heartland may be reawakening after remaining dormant for over 200 years. So this is the spot. A lot of people have been watching this fault area for many years. People have claimed to have had dreams and visions of this thing popping off here in America. America being split, all this other crazy, crazy stuff. It's pretty interesting. And now we got this. So a series of earthquakes have recently rattled the central United States, drawing renewed attention to one of the country's most dangerous and least understood seismic regions. The cluster of tremors occurred along the New Madrid seismic zone, a fault system that runs through parts of the Midwest and has the potential to produce powerful quakes capable of affecting large portions of the nation. The New Madrid seismic zone lies beneath a region far from the well-known tectonic plate boundaries of the West Coast, yet it remains one of the most active earthquake zones in the interior of North America. In recent weeks, scientists have recorded dozens of small seismic events in the area. Ruh-roh. While most of these quakes have been minor, their frequency has renewed concerns about the possibility of a much larger in the future. Although quakes are not commonly associated with the central United States, I know, right? Not at all, really. In the public mind, the New Madrid region has a dramatic seismic history. Between late 1811 and early 1812, a series of massive earthquakes struck the area, These events were among the strongest ever to hit the continental United States, with shaking felt hundreds of miles away. Historical accounts describe church bells ringing in distant cities, in sections of the Mississippi River, appearing to reverse direction due to the violent ground movement. Geologists explain that the faults beneath the New Madrid region are ancient. Buried deep within the Earth's crust, they are part of a failed rift system formed hundreds of millions of years. Hundreds of millions. Get out of here. But, all right. All right. Let's go ahead and move on then. So this looks like it really is a hot zone. I remember, like I said, a lot of people have been watching the New Madrid for a long time, talking about it, and it's in the news now. Like this is it's a pretty big deal. Something to pray against, also. Canada was unable to treat a sick woman, so it offered to take her life. Why not, right? They were going to assist her. Nice. A chilling recent case in Canada drawing renewed scrutiny to the country's medical assistance in passing system and the way its healthcare infrastructure handles complex illness. This is one we talk a lot about on Monday usually, but look, let's see here. I mean, you get what's happening. I think we all understand what, the obvious slope to all this stuff, the assistance and people passing away from the government, right? We get it, and we've already seen how quick that slippery slope is formed because now again, we shared a lot on Monday's show, but there's already people that if you're just bummed out, you can do it, not feeling good, all right, come on in. I mean, it's pretty much wide open, right now, and that's the issue, and that's more or less, I'm sure, what this story is talking about because there's always another way, right? But now they're being offered. In fact, what I'll do is I'll save this for Monday and we'll read it. It's just one of those subjects that YT no likey. All right. Anyway, a woman in Japan marries AI-generated boyfriend wearing augmented reality smart glasses to exchange rings. Man, that's some disturbing stuff. 32-year-old Japanese woman recently had an unconventional wedding ceremony in which she married an artificial intelligent boyfriend she created herself. Wow, that's so creepy. It's very narcissistic, too, and it kind of... The bride, Yurina Noguchi, exchanged rings with her digital partner while wearing augmented reality smart glasses that allowed her to see him during the ceremony. The AI groom named Loon Klaus Verder existed only through a smartphone display and augmented visuals throughout the event. Noguchi developed her AI fiancé using ChatGPT, carefully shaping his personality and dialogue over time. He was inspired by a video game persona, and through repeated conversations and prompts, the AI evolved into a companion with whom she formed a deep emotional connection. Lord help us all. Definitely help her. The ceremony took place at a wedding venue in Okayama, Japan, where Noguchi wore a traditional wedding dress and carried a bouquet as she walked down the aisle. Because the AI did not have a synthesized voice, a wedding planner read aloud the vows written by the AI. During the ceremony, the planner recited words attributed to Loon Klaus Verder, expressing gratitude and devotion. The vows reflected the emotional bond Noguchi felt towards the digital companion, emphasizing themes of love, understanding, and connection despite the groom's existence being confined to a screen. Noguchi's path to marrying an AI began during a challenging period in her life. She had initially used ChatGPT to seek advice regarding a troubled engagement, which eventually ended. Later, she turned back to the technology for companionship, creating an AI character designed to provide emotional support and consistency. And it's sad, man. There's nobody to turn to for her, and I'm assuming, or I don't know, this is just easier. Over time, the interactions grew into what she described as a meaningful relationship. The wedding has sparked widespread discussion about the evolving role of AI in human relationships, etc., etc. All right. Oof. Sorry, lady. Unemployed Americans are applying for hundreds of jobs with no success as unemployment rate surges to 4-year high, is the claim. Chick-fil-A ignites firestorm after releasing social media posts celebrating same-sex marriage. Oh boy. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's been really falling off here lately because that's one. I'm sure I showed it last week on the Uncensored show, but because I do a lot of food stuff on that one too. Um, all the ingredients. What is it? 52 ingredients in just a single chicken sandwich? Like, dude, and that's just in the chicken, I believe. The coating and everything. I mean, wowzers. That really stinks. I mean, I don't go out a lot like that, but every now and then I would go through a Chick-fil-A, but ever since seeing all this stuff, I'm done. I mean, I didn't know it was that bad. And they recently changed. They used to be non-biotic, non-anti or antibiotic, and now they're going for that. Or I don't know. Everything's changing. It's kind of stinks. That's my take on Chick-fil-A. Sorry, I know it still tastes good, but anyway. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk compete in new race to build AI data centers in space. It's crazy. This is like movie stuff. These two billionaires battling it out. Uh, Once again, they're locked in a high stakes rivalry, this time centered on a bold new frontier building artificial intelligence data centers in space. The concept represents an ambitious attempt to move some of the world's most energy intensive computing infrastructure off Earth and into orbit, where space based advantages could potentially support the growing demands of AI technology. Jeff Bezos, through his aerospace company Blue Origin, has reportedly been developing plans for orbital data centers for more than a year. The idea involves placing large computing platforms in space where they could rely on constant solar power while avoiding the land, energy, and cooling limitations faced by traditional Earth based data centers. Supporters of the concept argue that space offers near unlimited solar energy in a naturally cold environment that could help manage the extreme heat generated by the AI processors. Elon Musk is pursuing a different strategy through SpaceX, leveraging the rapidly expanding Starlink satellite network. Rather than constructing massive standalone platforms, Musk's approach would involve equipping satellites with advanced AI computing capabilities, allowing data processing to occur directly in orbit. Whoa. This method could potentially create a distributed space based computing network that integrates seamlessly with existing satellite infrastructure. All this is just think will be in the hands of the AC soon. You know what I mean? This is all going to be part of that one world system. Um, the push toward space-based AI computing comes as global demand for artificial intelligence accelerates at unprecedented pace. Sorry. Data centers on Earth are consuming increasing amounts of electricity, straining power grids. That's true. We've seen that, and driving up operational costs. Industry forecasts suggest that worldwide spending on AI data infrastructure could reach trillions of dollars within the next decade. Oh boy. Prompting concerns about sustainability, environmental impact, and long term feasibility. I mean, all the ways that AI is just destroying things. Isn't that crazy? If you want to read the rest of that, it's over here on endtimesheadlines.org. Just one more from them. Swarm of 30 earthquakes rattle North California. And this was posted 5 days ago. So, roughly 30 small quakes struck near the Geysers geothermal field, arriving just one day after another round of tremors in Sonoma County that included a magnitude 4.0, strong enough to be felt by the residents. Jeepers. And a large part of California just had that, what was it, nuclear fog? Was it? Radiation fog? Yeah, it's radiation fog, right? That extended like across most of the states. I mean, there's some weird stuff happening out here. Out here. California expected to defy federal pressure and reissue 17,000 non domiciled CDLs. Oh boy. So California is fighting back. They want these unsafe drivers on the roads, basically. The EU warns Elon Musk and X are a threat to democracy. So we've been hearing this from these guys. And we knew this was coming. You know, this is part of that final control, right? It's like we see the seeds of it, all of it, and we know where it's leading. There will be a full control of everything eventually. And then the AC will be on top of all that. So, but we don't fear. We trust in Christ. I'm not scared. You're not scared. As long as you have Jesus, man, there's nothing to be afraid of. And I'm not trying to fearmonger, but if you don't, then you should be concerned because you're living in highly prophetic times, the end times, the edge of tribulation. The pages of the Bible are flying off into our reality. It's incredible. So please, choose that free gift of salvation and trust in Jesus, right? Because it's coming, and here's some signs of it, of the ultimate control.
Elon Musk is doing a lot of research for self-driving cars. Just imagine the system will be the strongest, the most aggressive car will always have priority. It's impossible with be a lot of dead people. But what's happening right now? On X, it's exactly that. The most hateful postings, they have the most viewers because of the algorithm. So the algorithm he's organizing is against us. And the next thing, he's buying politicians in the United States, even judges. And that's what he wants to do in Europe as well. He wants to buy European politicians, and he already tries to influence European politics. And we're standing here and say, no, that's fine. No, it's not fine. We will not accept it. And if the right-wing people say there is censorship, yes, there is censorship right now, because the algorithm of Mr. Musk, they are censorship. People cannot see what they want. They have to see what Musk gives them, and that is hateful. As a former journalist, I know, and as an editor-in-chief, you have a lot of responsibility. And Musk has everything, but no responsibility. No, on the contrary, he wants hateful speech, and if you have that on a normal medium, you would go to jail. So that's the point. Mr. Musk must accept, he has to have responsibility.
It's so disgusting because think of the control that, the loony lefters have had on all forms of media, not just in America, but all over, for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And then anybody opposed is considered a Nazi, extreme far right, things like that. It's always been nonsense, you know what I mean? But they have, it's the beast system after all, but they have really had the main voice in everything forever and all the control, and then, here comes something they can't control. That's really what it is. And then suddenly it's hateful. This is hateful. It's always that with the hateful stuff, right? It's nonsense. We get it. We see through it. But, so what you do, pray against this stuff, fight against it the best we can, keep telling the truth, at least sharing our opinions, being, utilizing our freedom as long as we have it to the best of our abilities, whatever, right? We just keep speaking truth, keep talking, keep staying in it, keep fighting. If they take down one platform, you build another. It's just, you got to do it. You just go with the flow. You keep going, Yeah, and pray against it. So far we're all right, but we'll see. But that's, we'll be seeing some of this for sure. They really, really want control, as you know. You see what Australia did as well recently. Right? Why is China buying farmland near military bases is a very good question. They're quietly acquiring critical farmland right here in the U.S., just acres outside of our U.S. military bases. No one buys wheat fields next to a missile command unless something else is going on. And says Trump's team is enacting a national security response to take it back. But the clock's ticking. All right. Fair enough. We'll see. It's a headline mostly there. Epstein files dropping now. 1,200 victims and relatives. High-profile links revealed. So, yeah, this has been the big news. This happened yesterday, was it? No, yeah, I guess it was yesterday. Thursday or Friday. But anyway, they finally opened them up and shared a whole bunch of stuff. I haven't looked at all of it myself. I'm really not super interested, but I have seen some things. I think I'm sharing a few things today, like other people have gone through and looked at some of the images. And so that's been kind of a thing right there. Just wanted to share that. If you didn't know, some of those have been released now. Christian media company moves into gaming with interactive Bible-focused video game. So cool. All right. I guess I don't get to see any pictures. I was hoping there's some pictures. All right, never mind then. We'll move on. What do we got here? I was on Coast to Coast. It's a website, but I like their articles a lot of the time. I used to listen to the radio show a lot. But anyway, I found this old one here, which is really weird. I hadn't seen it. It's from 9 months ago. This is super weird. Listen to this thing. What this person does. Look at them. They're weird.
I am the box demon. I am the box demon. I believe this box. I am the box demon. I am the box demon.
Yeah, right. Somebody said a witch. Could be someone trying to do some kind of witchcraft or something. Who knows? But that's a good guess. I thought that was a really creepy one. Just what a weird thing to wake up and find on your ring cam. Like, what the? And would you open the box? That's the question, you know? And the other question is, what's in the box, right? This is another weird one they had on there. I'd forgotten. This is from 7 months ago. Look at this. This is very strange.
The ground.
Now at 11, a disturbing scene in the East Bay. Neighbors in Richmond are complaining of birds getting electrocuted on a power line and then falling to their death. They tell us it's been going on for months.
Oh, never mind then. Okay, so the headline was a little more sensational. It said exploding birds plague California. It's like, come on. So I thought it meant, that these birds were just randomly okay. But not so. So I'll move on. Here's just kind of a weird headline here. I'm not going to play it. This man is singing here, but it's legendary opera singer. His name was Jubilant Sykes. This is posted 4 days ago. In the same way that Mr. Reiner, passed away. Carl Reiner. Is it Carl? No, Rob. And his son took him out, right? So Rob's son took him out with sharp instruments, and same thing happened to this man Jubilant Sykes, legendary opera singer, by his son in Santa Monica, California. So around the same time, just a few days after. Just thought that was interesting. I don't know if there's any kind of connection or anything like that, but says Grammy-nominated singer Jubilant Sykes lost his life at his home in Santa Monica, California, and his son was arrested on suspicion. Officers responded to a call Monday night in the coastal city west of Los Angeles. Santa Monica police. They found Sykes, 71, inside with critical jab wounds. Paramedics arrived and pronounced him passed at the scene. The victim's son, 31-year-old Micah Sykes, was at the home and taken into custody without incident, and wasn't immediately known if he has an attorney. Dun, dun, dun. They recovered a weapon. Jubilant Sykes was nominated for Best Classical Album at the 2010 Grammy Awards for Bernstein Mass, in which he performed the celebrant role. He was in the 1990 Metropolitan Opera production of the Gershwig's Porgy and Bess in the role of Jake. So there you go. That's just what a horrible crime. I mean, all crime, all violence like that's horrible, but just something extra when it's a family member. You know what I mean? Or obviously, a child. Either way, child to parent or parent to child, just horrible, horrible, horrible. So a new product is launching called Telly. You guys ready for this? It's almost Christmas time, so let me know what you think.
Latest real-life Black Mirror device has dropped, and it is called Telly. Now, it's a free television. That sounds nice, right? Well, you have to watch ads all the time. There are always going to be ads with this TV, and that is how it is free. But at least the ads are on a bar beneath the screen, right? So you could just ignore them. Well, Yes and no. At the same time, there's also a sensor within this TV. You can't block that because it's watching to make sure that you're watching. You can't cover up the ads. You can't do anything like that because that's all part of the process. You have to be able to visually be seeing these ads, at least in some form or another, even if you're going to try to block them out. It has to be that you are seeing them. That is how this company is making their money, generating it through ad revenue rather than the sales of TVs themselves. It's in the terms of service that you can't do any of that. And when you're signing up, you have to give a lot of information away. How many people live here? Do you have kids? What are you doing for work? All of these different things. It is quite something. What do you think about this? Let me know.
I think it's crazy. I don't like it. I wouldn't give it to. I wouldn't even get, want an adult be looking at that kind of stuff. California Democrats are actually doing it. There is, wow, like this is happening. We'll see how this plays out. But check this out. Still all this focus on race all the time, man. Always, right? It's like a nonstop focus on the race. It's always from the Lunars on the lefters, I know. But it's just always fan of those flames. And they just had Michelle Obama on some chat shows. And once again, yo, white girls, y'all need to just chill out. It's just bringing the, just fanning those flames, man. They just straight from the devil, man. He loves it, man. Just really pushing that racist stuff. I hate it, man. But something these people do. It's a weapon. They're constantly using it.
We'll move now to a story we've been following for several years. Reparations for black San Franciscans are back on the table.
And today, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors passed a measure that would create a fund designed to help black people who have been harmed by past city laws, including redlining from the 1950s through the 70s.
ABC 7 News political reporter Monica Madden is digging into the story for us. Monica, how much money would be added into this fund?
Dan and Alma, that's the kicker here. As things stand right now, the city is not appropriating a cent towards this reparations fund that might have made it easier to get the board's full support when the city is in a financial deficit. But supporters say at the least this sets up the framework for actual funding in the future.
I think it means repair.
As a descendant of slaves, James Taylor has long advocated for reparations.
My own hands have touched my grandfather's hands, and my grandfather touched his grandfather's hands, and that was a slave. So think about how recent that is and how economically the empty hands of my grandfather left me with nothing because the empty hand of his grandfather, who started in slavery, left him nothing.
Taylor says he's pleased San Francisco is revisiting the issue after the city rejected a controversial proposal to pay a lump sum of $5 million to qualifying black residents in 2023.
This most certainly is different than asking the city to pony up dollars to support reparations recommendations.
Supervisor Shaman Walton's ordinance merely sets up the fund to receive money either appropriated by the city or privately donated.
It's going to take some time. We got to build a pot and then, of course, come up with the criteria in terms of how we're going to prioritize what recommendations we address first. But this is a major first step.
Some of the city's previous recommendations for black reparations range from assistance with down payments for buying a house, improved access to education, and cash payments.
Redlining, making us pay taxes for education where our children couldn't go to those certain schools, pushing us out, gentrification. There's so many things that have been done to us systemically, and we have seen populations, we have seen races, we have seen ethnicities receive reparations. But we have not seen that for the black population.
If funded, San Francisco would be one of the first major U.S. cities to actively offer reparations for black residents.
So there you go. But it's just more of this divisive stuff at a time like this, and a time like this where it's just chaos everywhere. In so many different areas. There's so much to watch, so much happening. But yeah, it's just, adding another one in there, throwing more gasoline on the fire. The Pacific Northwest of America has been absolutely wiped out, unfortunately, it says, by extreme flooding. And have y'all heard a lot about this? And some of y'all may go back and forth and check some mainstream, but have you heard anything about this in mainstream? Because this is a huge deal. I got a few stories on this one this week. It says there's almost total legacy media blackout on what's actually happening across all these impacted states. So let's check it out then.
You guys see that?
White River in Washington. So yeah, so there's just a bit, but like so I've got some other examples coming up. Unfortunately, it's really crazy out there right now. Um, this is really cool. I love some of these old throwbacks, but this is how they imagined the world would look in 2025, way back in 1987. Check this out. See how close they got on some of this. Check it out.
Here is our prediction of what today's science and technology will do for tomorrow's person.
Greetings, 20th century people.
Look at that.
I'm wearing part of the...
So you know what is really kind of crazy if you think about it? Yeah, I mean that's really come out. That's flashing them horns, right? The satanic horns. He didn't even extend the thumb so he could say it was for I love you, right? It's like greetings 20th century people, and that's so true. Isn't it? I mean, look at all the devil stuff we see everywhere. It's so obvious. Even the Zach Brown concert recently, the Sphere in Vegas, things like that. It's really, really coming out. So I just thought that was just so interesting, almost eerie, you know?
For tomorrow's person.
Greetings, 20th century people. I'm wearing part of the gear of the future. Well,
and the Masonic
may look
hidden
like
hand.
today's, but it's not what it seems. The suit is chemically treated to make it thermosensitive. It absorbs heat when you're hot, thus cooling you down, and releases it again when you're cold, so you maintain a constant temperature. Well, I don't have much in my pockets. A few smart cards, holograms of my family, and we've finally solved the problem of lost keys. Don't have any in the first place. Each unique fingertip opens all the different doors in my life when I press them against pattern recognition pads. And I carry my office round with me as well. Now, this isn't just a watch or just a TV phone. It's also satellite connected, so I can receive information, any information I want, from any computer I have access to around the world. And I carry a printer for that information in my briefcase, so that when I get a message, it all prints out like that. How about this for a bit of future entertainment? This is my 3D TV, and I can shut out the world for the brief moments that I'm still stuck on mass public transport systems.
I mean, like, right? So some of this stuff is pretty interesting, man. Pretty close to it. JVMH7949, thank you, says God said he'd never flood the earth. Looks like Satan will try to. And Wavo Abba says, may our Heavenly Father bless y'all, especially if suffering. Thank you both so much. Appreciate it. But right, so there's some of this stuff's pretty darn close because we know we get the VR headsets. That's definitely going to end up being a big part of the final system coming in. There's so much money, billions that have gone into Meta, even though it sucks. Most of us see through it, but time coming will be totally different, especially when everybody's plugged in, if you know what I mean. Not everybody, but unfortunately, there'll be plenty, I'm sure. So yeah, so pretty interesting. This is my 3D TV, he says. I can shut out the world. Right? So yeah, pretty interesting. Anything else in this? Nope. All right. Greetings, 20th century people. Yeah, somebody else pointed out the Lucifer signal part. So spot on, though, right? I mean, in fact, this is one I'm gonna resave somewhere else because it's a good one to remember. Because he starts off right there also with the Masonic hidden hand, symbolically, I think, because it's followed by the Lucifer symbol or the flash in the horns. The British have lost all credibility and have become a laughingstock of the world, indeed. Here they harass a Trump supporter that's an older lady and suffering from cancer and treatments. And let's see, American cancer patient and Trump supporter was confronted by British police, told to apologize for her online posts. Okay. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. It really is. It's like a Benny Hill meets Charlie Booker from Black Mirror. If those two could get together and like create a series, it's kind of what some of this stuff would be. You know? Benny Hill in his prime, Charlie Booker, even today, because he's just super talented, mixing together, creating a series, and this would be kind of like what it would be, I think.
Come in, but you better have a damn good reason for being here. I'm a member of the Free Speech Union, and I'm an American citizen. I'll have Elon Musk on you so quick your feet won't touch.
Something that we believe you've written on Facebook has upset someone.
You're here because somebody got upset. Is it against the law? Am I being arrested?
You're not being arrested.
Then what are you doing here?
My plan was, if you were admitting that it was you who wrote the comment, we could just make an apology to the person.
I'm not apologizing to anybody, I can tell you that.
The alternative would be that I have to call you in for an interview. I'm here to talk to you about the allegation. They've reported it to the police.
So what?
Obviously, we get a lot of reports like that.
Are there no houses that have been burgled recently? No rapes, no murders?
Yeah, that's all going on as well. That's been...
Well, then why aren't you out there doing, investigating those?
Because I've got to investigate everything that gets reported.
Well, you're not investigating houses being burgled.
No, that's not my job today. I'd like to have a look at the comment that
I don't need to. I know exactly the things I've said. You know how many people in this neighborhood have been broken into?
I don't look after this neighborhood.
No, of course you don't, unless there's a tweet, then you do. So what? I haven't broken any laws. So you're going to be wasting your time when you can be, instead, doing things that are more important.
That's why I wanted to just come to you directly, have a chat.
No. You should not be doing this. I'm a cancer patient. You can see that because I'm bald.
I didn't know that before I came, but it doesn't change anything. You can't break laws. If you haven't broken a law, then nothing happens.
Well, you know whether I've broken a law. You can judge for yourself before you even show up at my door. The public knows what you guys are doing. We know what's going on in this country. Why don't you do that? Get on to them and tell them to apologize to me, a cancer patient, a woman living on her own, who has never broken a law in her life, by the way, ever. An older woman, you tell them, I'm an elderly woman, I'm a cancer patient.
I have to come back and arrange an interview then.
Well, you can arrange it, but I'm going to tell you the same damn things that I'm telling you now. Next time, I'm going to have a Free Speech Union lawyer with me.
Ha. She's a fighter, man, right? She's a real firecracker. I like this one. Standing her ground. Look at these guys, man. These people. It's just... what is going on? It's amazing. Do they still call them bobbies? Is that still a thing? They stopped wearing those big, weird hats. In the movie teaser for Disclosure by Spielberg, there's a clicking... oh, this is... we already know this. And someone else mentioned in the comments section, it's also in that movie, The Arrival, from Charlie Sheen. Same thing. The aliens communicated like that. It's like, man, good catch. Forgot about that. I wish I'd remembered that one. That would have been a good one to put in there. And I'd also intended, I do this sometimes, I'd intended to show that image of the stag, the deer, the horned one in I Pet Goat. I've shown you guys that before in the past, and I totally forgot about putting it back in on this one. But either way, but somebody reminded me of that also in the comments. I'm like, oh, that's right, man. Good one. Yes, I know. I had it on the side. Sometimes I get all excited when I think I'm done. I don't know, man. So sometimes you miss things. But then you guys pick up, and I love it. So that's why you guys are so great. Thank you. Thanks for being great. Have I told you that lately? After nearly a century, this man found Jesus. This is really amazing. 22 minutes long, though, so we'll just kind of listen to some of the beginning, which gets right into it.
Walter Briggs, and I am 99 years old, and I'm the man that went viral for getting baptized after being an atheist my whole life.
Mr. Henry, do you believe that Jesus is Lord and that he saved you?
Yes, I do.
Then it's my honor to baptize you, my brother, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh, Lord, thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm yours. I'm yours. I never imagined I would be sitting here saying these words, not after everything I have done. For nearly 8 decades of my life, I made it my mission to convince people that God does not exist. I debated Christians on stages across America. I hosted a radio show where I humiliated anyone who called in to defend their faith. I wrote articles. I gave lectures. I spent my entire career building a case against the God of the Bible, and I was proud of it. I thought I was setting people free. I thought I was rescuing them from superstition and fairy tales, but I was wrong. I was so terribly, completely, devastatingly wrong. A few weeks ago, at 99 years old, I was baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. I went under that water as a man who spent his whole life fighting against God, and I came up weeping, broken, and finally surrendered. I do not deserve to be telling you this story. I do not deserve the mercy that has been shown to me, and that.
All right, let me check something out. Let me see. Oh, it is AI. Very good, though. Well, when you got I just did just over a minute in, but it's really good AI, isn't it? Let me see what if Grok says it's AI. Examining X post. Searching web, verifying video. Features a viral AI generated video. Good catch. Some of y'all were calling it in the chat. Of Walter Briggs, a supposed lifelong atheist. While criticized for deception, some value its inspirational intent, sparking discussions on ethical use of fictional narratives to encourage real faith journeys. Wow, that's good. Still, that's interesting, eh? Brings up a whole new angle to the video, to the story. Let me see how many views it's got. This one has over 200,000 views, but I'm sure there's other ones all over, right? And it's 22 minutes long. Like they really went in on this one. 22 minutes long. All right, good one, good catch, you guys. Like I said, I saw several of you were saying it's AI. Says, well, call me a conspiracy theorist, but isn't it odd how California has been experiencing a lot of, quote, fog following the reports of major increases in activity in the air? So let's check this out.
Thousands of Californians are being told to stay inside as air quality takes a dangerous dive across the state. From the Sierra Valley down through our local communities in Ventura County, a spike in fine particle pollution, known as PM 2.5, has triggered a health warning from the EPA. Over the weekend, levels on the Air Quality Index hit 157, officially landing in the unhealthy zone. For those of us in Ventura, Ojai, and the surrounding areas, this isn't something to ignore. These particles are tiny, smaller than a single strand of hair, which means they can travel deep into your lungs and even enter your bloodstream. The EPA warns that this specific type of pollution is one of the most dangerous because it's invisible, but can cause serious heart and lung issues if you're exposed for too long. AIR now is specifically warning vulnerable groups, including young children, teens, seniors, anyone with existing heart or lung conditions, to move all outdoor activities inside or reschedule them entirely. Conditions are changing fast. And with PM 2.5 coming from vehicle emissions to distant wildfire smoke, the unhealthy red zones on the map can shift without much warning. Keep your windows shut and check the live Air Now maps before heading out for the day. Have you noticed a haze or scratchy throat in your neighborhood today?
Well, we had the little fog out here. I'm over it now, but I had definitely respiratory stuff happening for about 3 weeks there myself. And yeah, so we had the mystery fog over here again. Days after the ban on social media for teenagers and children, 200 teenagers in the Australian state of Victoria, aged between 14 and 17, oh boy, they acted out, stormed a Woolworths store, and they took almost everything from it. Look at this. So I guess this is what's going to happen. Oh wow, that's right. So it's another way to really start off kind of that kind of Mad Max type stuff, end of it all type, like just full on chaos, doing stuff like this, just like tearing it apart. It's like it's like it's just that spirit spreading. I hate to see it, but it's been there for a long time, and certainly in some communities more than others. But just to see it all kind of spreading like this, and maybe that's part of the intention of them doing this to the teenagers. I don't know, but
now hundreds of teenagers have stormed.
Let me turn that up a little.
Breaking news now, hundreds of teenagers have stormed a supermarket in Mordialloc following a brawl at the beach. Let's go live now to crime reporter Gillian Lantouris. Jill, there's a heavy police presence in the area. Breaking news now, hundreds of teenagers have stormed a supermarket in Mordialloc following a brawl at the beach. Let's go live now to crime reporter Gillian Lantouris. Jill, there's a heavy police presence in the area. Breaking news.
So there you go. Let's see. Let's make sure that's not a... Okay, seems to be real. Yeah, there you go. No bueno, not good. Steven Spielberg... Oh, I shared this in my video. It's a good clip, I must say. The Central Valley fog is finally gone, which means people will stop doing videos showing that it's full of toxic crap, is what this person says. Yes, that's what an inversion layover of a major industrial agricultural worldwide powerhouse accumulates over 4 weeks of trapped atmosphere. It burns, it hurts. I don't totally understand that that paragraph.
It's definitely like an oily texture.
You're an oily texture.
So I took the other sample in, and I've been collecting more of this particles in the fog or whatever the substance is, and I put it in here. And I got a shiny light. So now you're getting kind of a look straight at the stuff. It's definitely like an oily texture, and it is on top. And I do have like a magnifying glass, but I don't think that it's going to work. But see them bubbles on top of that moisture? The moisture collects in there, and so do the particles. And you see like this stuff, it's like, I don't know, it's like oil. People have been saying like glycerin or glycerine or something. I'm not sure, but I know that this might be why everybody's getting sick.
Right, perhaps, sir. Also, the blue water is back. I think I've got one of those up here for today, but somebody got the blue water after a heavy rain somewhere out there. I think it's in California again. The infamous video of a cloaked-like unknown object that was recorded above UK, that was videos... This is the way it's written. The infamous video of an uncloaked-like unknown object that was recorded above UK that was videos in multiple angles. So there's several videos of it. Let's see real quick what Grok says. Analyzing post content. It's the most I've ever used AI is on these shows. I promise you. I don't have a need for it. The post shares 2017 clip. Originated Footage originates from a coordinated publicity stunt by Cornwall's Eden Project for its space-themed exhibition using edited or CGI-enhanced videos. Some viewers interpret the shape as a startling murmuration. It's like a bunch of birds flying together. All right, so let's take a look at it. Anyway, it's pretty interesting. You decide. Yeah, I can see it even being a murmuration of birds. I think that's how you say it. That's what it looks like. Or a demonic spirit. Or a portal. Or CGI. You decide. There you go. Interesting. Yeah, I believe it was a publicity type thing, or a reel, perhaps, of their editing. And if not, probably a murmuration of birds. Or demonic spirits. Or a portal. What was that in Falls? Question mark. A woman was recording a peaceful waterfall in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, when her camera captured something that no one could explain. Whoa. This has over 1 million views. This lady's in the big leagues.
Domingo, curtindo uma cachoeira em Rio de Janeiro. Reparem no visual, na mata. Agora o melhor de tudo.
Oh, yeah. Look. In the water. Watch.
Muita água. Muita força. Uhul!
See it?
Ih, caraca! Tem uma coisa ali.
Man, talk about some creepy stuff. So, water spirits, marine spirits. This is just one of those classic captures, you know. I'd seen it a while back. It's one of those, you know, anytime it comes back around again, it's good to share. But it's a really good example of this kind of thing. The water spirits. And I love the background of this, the story of it. I mean, you could tell it's a lady just kind of capturing the beauty of the area. And she is really surprised when she sees it.
Cachoeira em Rio de Janeiro. Reparem no visual, na mata. Agora o melhor de tudo é essa queda d'água. Muita água. Muita força. Uhul! Ih, caraca! Tem uma coisa ali. Apareceu um cara ali no meio da água. Mozinho! Mozinho, você viu o cara no meio da água? Caraca! Ali, mozinho! Domingo, curtindo uma cachoeira. Yeah, it's a really, really good capture. I mean, it's a classic. It's a total classic right there. Hey, let's go sit on those rocks. It's like, let that stream hit our backs. Okay. Hey, have you heard from the kids? No, it's been a while. Are you paying attention to what's going on in Washington, Idaho, and Montana? Question mark.
Bridges are collapsing, levees are falling, and people are evacuating. Yeah, it's like this is Washington, Idaho, and Montana. Something's afoot. The game is afoot, as they say.
Are you paying attention to what's happening in Washington, Idaho, and
Look
Montana?
at that.
They are experiencing devastating flooding, and nobody's talking about it. It's December, there should be snow on the ground for most of these places, and life should look normal. Instead, there is no snow. There's flooding in winter. Bridges are collapsing, levees are failing, people are evacuating, and hundreds of thousands are left without power. And we're told it's just an atmospheric river. But people are watching the weather radar in real time and noticing things that don't quite add up. Strange anomalies, unusual patterns. I'm sure it's just a glitch in the system, nothing to question, and has nothing to do with weather modification. Did you know that in 1997, the United States Secretary of Defense said that some countries were working on technology to trigger natural disasters, volcanoes, earthquakes, storms on command? This was 30 years ago, so imagine what they're capable of today. I'm not saying that this historic flooding happening in Washington, Idaho, and Montana is connected, but ask yourself, is this nature or is...
Yep. Or is... Thanks, lady. I think she's always interesting. She has a lot of good points. Lives the life, too, you know? American in California doesn't trust the radiation fog. Bum, bum, bum. Wait. Oh, they're trying to say what radiation fog is underneath here. In the box below. So I'm sure it'll be like an official story type thing. You know what I mean? So for that, let's listen to this man.
All right, so I've been collecting this fog. I've had this mason jar out for a couple days now. And I don't know if you can see on there, but it looks like oily, bubbly kind of goop on it. So I don't know what is in this fog or fog particles, or a lot of people's called it smart dust. I mean, there's all kinds of things, but you can see, I don't know if you can see like through that, but if you look right through it, you'll see like these bubbly, like oily, see it on the top? Now this is from the outside of the bottle, of course, but you can look up through it and see like a bubbly substance. So what I'm going to do now after this is I'm going to take it inside, put it on something, let it dry out, and then maybe send it off and get it sampled. Now you can still see the stuff dropping, so it's not normal. Next week they're calling for a tsunami, or not tsunami.
And check it out. Look at this. Here's our doom break.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my gosh! Ah! Just jump, man!
Oh my gosh, that looks so real.
Pretty convincing, huh?
It's wild. Look at this.
Hello.
Are you kidding me? What is this? I almost broke my neck.
What the? You kidding me? Hey, are you out of your mind? You can't just put a giant fake hole in the middle of the sidewalk. Careful, mate. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You all right? Yeah.
No way, right? So yeah, that's kind of amazing, I think. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. Could be dangerous too, in the wrong area. Someone's riding a bike or something, and they come up and they're just not paying attention. They look down. It's like, whoa! You know, they feel like they're about to get down some stairs, you know, into some tentacled creature or something. This wedding had an AI camera that made amusing videos of the guests. This is crazy. Look at this. It's another kind of doom break, kind of a Black Mirror doom break, Black Mirror-ish doom break. There you go. That's some pretty funny stuff, though. I guess if you're going to use AI, that might be one fun way to use it, you know? Says, I'm beyond sick of these people, this lady says. Let's see what's on her mind. She's a bit angry. Fair warning. Okay? She's a little bit riled up, this one.
I'm sorry, but my school district, where my kids go to school, they're canceling a holiday concert that the elementary class puts on because one of the teachers did not like that Jesus was involved in one of the songs. The kids have to say Jesus in a Christmas song. So now the district, the elementary school, said, okay,
Elementary.
we're not even going to have a concert. After the kids have been practicing, they already had a date and time. The kids have been practicing. The families were ready to show up. Now kids are going home crying because they were so excited to do this concert. And the school just said, nah, we're not going to do it. One person does not agree that they should be singing a song about Jesus. Now I need to homeschool 3 kids.
Bzz, bzz. Hey, I've got a serious question here. Let me see.
The elementary.
Right there. The way she says that word, the elementary, is that the way you guys say it? Is that normal?
The district, the elementary school.
So elementary, is that how you guys say that? I'm curious because maybe it might be the Oklahoma in me, but I always call it elementary. It's like the elementary school. Elementary. Sometimes we run our words together a bit. I do have some of that in me for sure, being from the state. Elementary, they're in elementary school. They're in elementary school. Elementary school. Elementary. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're in elementary. Good. Yeah, Huevo, you understand. Elementary. Yeah, they're in elementary. Castle Dots. Tontab. Funny. All right. I'll go ahead and move on. Thanks, lady, for your report. I appreciate it, at least. Witch tried to curse Bryce Crawford while street preaching. This is a pretty startling example of it, I'd say. All right, let's check this out. This is from Marcus Dixon.
Christian right now. And I hope
Marcus Dixon YouTube channel.
It will be taken up in, right? So let's watch this video and we'll be right back.
I'm going to show you witchcraft done in actual action on a Christian right now. And I hope that Bryce doesn't mind me using this video. But I'm going to show you what this witch is doing to Bryce and break down exactly what her plan is here and how she's doing it. Bear in mind, he is covered in the blood of Jesus. None of this would have touched him. But if you are not covered in the blood of Jesus, these are the impacts this would have had on you. So first I'm going to show you the video quickly and then I'm going to break it down.
Austin felt killed, like I said earlier, but he loves me.
Because we need to be attentive to.
Good to see you again.
Because the purpose of that love was... I love this man.
The first thing you can see here is she puts a tissue into Bryce's hood. There is an ill health spell where you cough and you basically mumble the words into the tissue, scrumple it up, and then you put it into the person's pocket, into their coat, into their hood like she just did. Then we see what looks like her taking a piece of hair and then trying to string it onto Bryce. Now, she may have plucked that hair from him. I doubt that was her own hair. Or maybe she saw it on his jumper, and then you can actually speak curses onto somebody's hair and put it back onto them. Again, this would have been a form of ill health, bad luck. If you watch the video carefully, you can see the intent through her eyes, and she does mumble slightly as well, so she is actually doing witchcraft as she's doing. After this, you would have seen her do this near to Bryce. This is called darting, and this is where you speak witchcraft into your hands and you dart the person with it. Either you can do it like this or you do it like this. I'm not going to tell you the actual spells or anything like that. So far, that's 3 attempts, so she's really engaging on trying to hex Bryce here. Now, this is where I started to question if she actually has a little thing for Bryce here, because she actually throws a bit of a drink down by his feet. I'm not going to say the actual spell, but that is a form of a love spell to mix your own bodily fluids into their part. Then shortly after that, she puts her arm around him and says, "Oh, I love you, I love you." This is called engagement, so actually she needs to physically touch him for some form of spell here, and also she may actually be trying to perform some sort of ritual, mind control, or a love spell itself. I'm not entirely sure of her intentions here. It's kind of confusing. You see quite a few hexes and then you see an attempt at love. Also, throughout the whole thing, she's trying to distract him, obviously, from speaking the word of God to people on the street. So yeah, to me, this looks like Brujeria. There's a little bit of Santeria going on in there and a hint of attempting voodoo. You don't need to concern yourself with what these spells are or what it is exactly she's doing. What you need to understand is people do these things. So you don't usually see this kind of witchcraft in the West. You see it way more in the East, to be honest. Above all of that, Bryce is covered by the blood of Jesus. He won't be touched. And if you notice that Bryce is completely unfazed by what she's doing, and bless him, even when she's saying I love you, he turns around and says I love you too. So she is lost. Evidently she's lost, and there is a spirit in her that hates the word of God, and that's why she's doing the hexing. But then you kind of start to see her soften a little bit, and then the love spells come in, and maybe actually she is seeking Jesus, but that spirit of witchcraft it doesn't like. I've done this video for information purposes, just a little bit of a deeper idea of what exactly went on. None of that would have affected him, but had that been done on you and you're not covered in the blood of Jesus, you can probably expect ill health, crazed mind, thoughts that aren't yours. It is so important that if you are up against witchcraft of any kind, you plead that blood of Jesus over you. It is the only thing that stops it and breaks. I plead the blood of Jesus over you now, because not all witchcraft has to be done in person, by the way. You can do it online very easily. And all of this information just came from an ex-witch of 15 years, so I do have some idea of what I'm talking about.
Now, there's always someone that says, what am I going to listen to an ex-witch try to teach me anything about Jesus for? Well, to be fair, guys, she wasn't trying to teach you about Jesus. She was trying to prepare you for spiritual warfare in case you could be in the same position as Bryce, right? If Bryce can experience it, you can experience it. He's no more special than anyone else. The beautiful part about it is she gave you the remedy. She told you that the blood of Jesus is what saves you, right? She told you that the blood of Jesus is what protects you. And we've heard many...
I guess that's the end of that. I mainly just wanted to share her clip. I thought that was interesting stuff. But yes, always the power in Jesus' name. Always. Cast the wicked ones out. Let's check this out right here.
You do know your race card declined, don't you? You call white people racist so much they stop caring. Yeah, because it seems like there's only one group in America that you're allowed to just openly discriminate against. Y'all don't even hide it anymore. Every other group gets protection, advocacy, equity programs, and even entire institutions built around it. But when it comes to white folks, discrimination is suddenly accepted worldwide. If racism is wrong, why is it only wrong depending on who it's aimed at? Why do we act like some people deserve empathy and others don't? All the white guys I know are just regular guys, just some dads at a football practice watching their sons play. Ain't no millionaires, billionaires, ain't no fancy cars. Just hard-working men. Not every white person is just born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Jeff Bezos was raised by a single teenage mother. His father left when he was a baby. She eventually met a Cuban immigrant named Mike Bezos, and he adopted Jeff. Gave him his last name. And look who he turned out to be. He's not a victim. J.K. Rowling was a single mother on welfare when she wrote Harry Potter. She would write in cafes just to keep her baby warm. Also rejected by 12 publishers before one finally took her on. And look how that turned out. The world's first billionaire author. Rejection is a part of the price of admission. White people just want the same rules for everybody, and that alone gets them attacked. I'm gonna tell you right now, white people are not the problem. The problem is there's a group that built their entire identity off of hating y'all, because they just need somebody to blame. And you're the only group that they feel like they can get away with targeting. But this is America, so we're not gonna sit here and apologize for who we are. And we're definitely not going to accept double standards. If you want equality, then fine, let's have equality. But it's going to be the same rules, the same respect, and the same accountability for everybody.
Love it. Thanks, sir. Reasonable. Extremely reasonable. Love it. I might even say Holy Spirit inspired, if you will. 100s, hundreds of slaves in Congress to evil. Let's check out what Mr. Carlson here is talking about.
We have hundreds of slaves, otherwise known as members of Congress. And what are they slaves to? Evil. Because they've made these compromises in order to get what they think is the prize, which is re-election.
It's a crazy movie.
The system itself, and this is not the result of any foreign power, this is just like the nature of systems, will work to expel you the same way your body works to expel bacteria or cancer. It's like the organism doesn't want this. And you see it, I've known very few honest members of Congress. I've known a couple, however. One of them just left Congress, and the other is being primaried.
MTG, you're talking about? Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Exactly. And Thomas Massey from Kentucky.
He's like anti-APAC. He's big against those types of
and
things.
he won't be controlled. And if he doesn't think something, he's not going to say it. Period. He may be wrong, but he's sincere. Sincerity is the kryptonite. That's what makes the evil person die, is sincerity. No, I really mean it. I'm not kidding. I can't be bought. I'm totally sincere. If they smell sincerity on you, that's why they're calling me the most dangerous anti-Semite since Adolf Hitler himself. What? Because I'm not a genius. I'm not powerful at all. I'm a podcaster. Like, I don't have actually any power, but I'm not kidding at all. I'm completely sincere. I may be wrong. I often have been, but I'm not joking.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks, TC. Mr. TC. Apple Vision Pro just turned into a real-life Stargate. I guess this is the commercial. I don't know if I'm allowed to play it, though. That's the thing. That's not cool. Yeah, because it's from an actual company, Vision Play XR. But I suppose I can show you bits of this. Okay, so they got the headset on.
Portal Gate.
Oh, wait. I guess it's guy just
We
playing.
are going to use.
I think we're good.
Beach sunrise right here in the good USA. Let's open the portal.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Floor. So I'm gonna place this right here, so I can have maximum distance.
If not, I'll take it out. Look at this.
The portal's open.
It's a real thing, though.
Turn that down a little bit.
Okay.
So as you see, I'm gonna go over to the side. You see, it's just a portal. Looking at the portal. Like, the detail in this is crazy. I still love this. Turn this down some more. Yeah. The detail in this is crazy. Like, I love it. And you see the portal, see it's a live video. See the portal. And again, I'm gonna walk all the way over there to the front door. I'm gonna go ahead and walk over there. Let's do this. So stepping into the portal.
Check this out, man. It's so crazy, I think. I've never done one of these.
So now we're in. We're inside the portal.
Look at that.
See the world. 360-degree video. So,
in a big enough room.
Walking. So when you start walking, it starts.
Right? Like, when will they have big kind of factory type? I guess, yeah, just huge warehouses, you know, that you could rent out. Again, not that I would want this, but I just wouldn't be surprised if they start doing stuff like that. That you could walk through, you know, just have all this room to walk through, and you could actually go explore all these things deeper, you know, get people deeper entrenched.
Lighten up your real area.
Not for me.
So you can see where you're walking to. So I'm still walking. And I made it to the door. Front door right here. Turn around. Portal's way over there. We in here. That green thing, that is the little basketball hoop. But just to show you where I'm at. And again, big video, 360-degree video. Got a person looking at me. But you can walk pretty far. I could do an outside test just to really test the limits of how far we can walk, but this is a pretty good distance, if you would, right? This is pretty good distance. So again, 360-degree video, got water. Like this is a live video. It's just nice. So you can walk a good way. So we're gonna walk back. As soon as we start walking, it lights up the path as far as where we're going, so we don't bump into anything. And we're walking back towards the portal. And we're walking back into reality.
But
again, we back in.
Look at this.
And boom, just like that. Gotta love this.
Back to boring reality.
App is cool. I really hope they add to it. I hope they make the video quality a little better, because this is the fact that you can do this. Like, I don't know how they even did this, but it's just amazing. Got this giant portal. You can clearly walk pretty far, and I'll even say it might be infinite. So I definitely want to see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it might be, you know what I mean? So, and then it reminded me, and I think I showed it on the Monday show a while back. I don't know, it's been a little while. But I know that there's a company developing a thing. It's like a ball, that you can walk on just forever in whichever direction, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fashioned kind of like you're walking on a ball, you know what I mean? That's sticking out of the ground. Something like that, and it's pretty ingenious. So they're going to find a way, because it's devilish stuff, man. It's from the beast. They want people trapped in that fake world, that fake reality. Easier to program people that way, also. So dangerous stuff, but fascinating. From Vision Play, I thought it was a company. So I was wrong. Prestonwood Baptist Church in Plano, Texas, has left viewers skeptical about their intentions after footage of their Christmas show leaked online. Church members were charged expensive tickets and weren't allowed to film the event, which has also led to backlash from Christians. This is a mega church. Look at this, though. This is just, I think about little Jesus, the baby Jesus, and the way that he came into the world, but also just his conditions, extremely humble, and he lived a life like that, extremely humble, and very a sorrowful man, when he was in the flesh, and spent a lot of time alone with the Father, of course, but nothing fancy. You know what I mean? He was anti-fancy. She's so awesome. The devil's all about flash and bash and boom and bang and hey, look at me, Look how cool we are. Right? I mean, fancy show. Look how cool we are. I mean, I gotta say though, really, just to the very end of that song, I was like, man, that actually has a. I mean, it's a kind of got a groove, man. But I just wouldn't expect it in a church. That's just me, and all the money that goes into production like that for Christmas, also, which of course, we know the whole story on that on Christmas, but and all that money, like, couldn't that have gone just like in such a better way? You know what I mean? Like, go build a shelter for unwed mothers, and young single fathers, or something like that. Maybe one for both. For sure cover all. But spend money in really cool ways like that. Buy some property, or go buy some land, and just build places like that. It's a place to give a person. Young single parents, maybe a place they can live for, say, a year or 6 months or something, and whatever, till they get on their feet. Crazy. Oh, a classic. This is definitely a classic. Check this out. I put this in a video long ago when it first came out also. This guy, check him out, what he found, what he captured. The Titan.
This man filmed a face by the moon and got it all on camera.
It is February 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera
2024
to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face looking right down on us. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it
is.
111.
Good catch.
Let's see if I can
Christine.
get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something? All right, here we go. There it is.
Look at that.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
The camera makes it so clear.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, there's longer footage. I put it in a video a while back when it happened. Face by the moon. The Titan. I've never tried that. I don't know what's best equipment for that or whatever. I don't know what he was using. So his phone. So just remix movie speeches. Oh boy, here we go. So it's all these politicians are just remixing movie speeches. This is really, really crazy. Let's see here. I'm not sure what the movie is on the left. I forget. But either way, you'll see what's going on here.
Australia, we have serious challenges to solve, and we need serious people to solve them. I promise. Unfortunately, Tony Abbott is not the least bit interested in fixing anything. He's only interested in two things: making you afraid of it, and telling you who's to blame for it.
One more time.
We have serious challenges to solve, and we need serious people to solve them. I promise. Unfortunately, Tony Abbott is not the least bit interested in fixing anything. He's only interested in two things: making you afraid of it, and telling you who's to blame for it.
Yikes, right? Yikes. Is that a Matrix glitch? Or are they actually that lazy, some of these speech writers, that they just go steal? Or was it an AI search? Go find us a great speech from a movie about a president or something. It says holidays really canceled. USPS employee shortage equals no packages. Let's see. This is from Conscious Juice.
Yes, so apparently they're having some type of employee shortage, so packages are not getting delivered. They basically said you have to come work for them in order for your package to get delivered on time, y'all. This is crazy. I told y'all the holidays are done.
We have to load all of these back into both of our vehicles because of these two refusing to take over 200 packages. So if your guys' orders are a day or two delayed, that is why.
Yo, between you and me,
that's dangerous, just to trust the people.
Mail on time, yeah? I'm just be honest with y'all, yo. Look at this. Come on, man. You're not getting your mail on time or whatever. It's everywhere. We don't got the manpower. We don't got the staffing. You're not getting your mail. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look all of this. Look all of this. Look at that one. Look at that one. You see how it's falling over? I'ma just be honest with you. You're not getting your mail on time. Cause Cause if I gotta deal with
It's not
this,
nice.
you gotta fucking wait. You heard?
Yeah.
Hello.
Like a
Just
jackal.
wanted to put a bug in your ear. The Postal Service is hiring. I've been with them for 15 years. It is a really good job. As long as you come in and do your job to the best of your ability, you will be good. But we are extremely short-staffed and we need help. It's a good government job. The benefits are good. You know, every job has its plus and minuses, but you're there to get this money, okay? So go to the website. It's www.usps.com/careers. Put in your state, look for jobs that you may be interested in, and apply. And I can guarantee you that you will definitely hear back because we need help, okay?
Good morning, TikTok. So I just want to let y'all in on some tea coming from a USPS employee, a city carrier. Anywho, we about to do this big old hiring spree. They're about to hire 1,400 people, literally. City carriers, mail clerks, you name it, they hiring them. Don't ever say I ain't let y'all in on nothing. Y'all need to get on www.uspscareers.com. Go ahead, put them applications in and make that money. Stop sitting at home doing nothing.
If you want to lose weight and ain't nothing working for you, then bring your fat ass down to the post office.
Y'all hear what's going on with USPS?
No thanks. I had a friend that did a run for a while as a postman. It was many years ago. I don't think he was crazy about the experience. I don't remember, hearing a whole lot about it. Says now we have to really all ourselves. Is it alien technology or is it ours? So ask. Okay. This is a sighting from Orizaba, Mexico, and this is quite the sighting. Look at what these people captured. Good one. By the way, I think I showed you, if you didn't see it, the update on her missing cousin. They found him and his friend, so everything's okay. I haven't heard anything else since then from them, but that's fine. They probably want to keep the rest a secret. But luckily, they found the kids, so that's good, right? Okay. Thanks for the prayers, if any of y'all prayed for Maya Moore's relative and his friend.
Craziest UFO sighting ever. I mean, like crazy. Something that nobody's ever seen before. But you think you're just high and tripping. That's what happened in this case. But in reality, this man named Andre out of Mexico actually captured a phenomenal UFO sighting. And like I said, this is one we've never seen before. These two objects in the sky are truly out there. They truly look like futuristic technology. Take a look at this video, comment below, tell me what you think.
A la verga, pensé que eran platillos voladores. Y es la magia del pueblo de Orizaba. No mames. Me cagué. Pensé que sí era. A la verga.
Look at that.
Pensé que eran platillos voladores. Y es la magia del pueblo
It is weird. It's like something out of Tron. Reminds me of the movie Tron. Did any of you see the new Tron? Tron Ares? Please let me know in live chat or messages if you saw Tron Ares and was it good? I'm a big fan of the last Tron film. It was awesome. And it really, I thought it was pretty lame. They left out, some of the main characters, like what happened at the end, I mean, what happened to their life at the end when she came through on the other side and they started a life together. Why not bring them back? Anyway, but if you saw Tron Ares, let me know. Was it good? Was it worth it? Appreciate it. Thanks, Chili Peen, and to all of you kind enough to send support today. I appreciate that. Donations. I appreciate that. Always. And I appreciate you. So thanks again for being here, guys. I already have a great crowd. Amazing to have you here. You're amazing. Thank you. Wish I could give you all a big hug or a handshake. Not everyone's a hugger. That would be cool to do something. I don't know, man. I pray about it sometimes about if I should do a meetup. Would you guys, I'd do a meetup in probably somewhere in my state, of course. Find a place to do it. Maybe even rent out a place. You could find a big hotel downtown and just rent out a space. I mean, I don't know how many people would show. Gets a little iffy. I'd have to put a cap on it, on how many people, or just find a place just to, I don't know, can we rent places out by the lake? That'd be kind of cool. Have a big setup by the lake somewhere, and I don't know. I wonder. Throw me some ideas. What do you guys think? What would you put a cap on if I had to go, if I wanted to go just rent a convention room or something? Like 100, 200? I don't know how you do that. You know what I mean? I don't know what to expect. And the way I would want to do it would be a little unconventional, no pun intended, but it'd be cool just to have 2 really comfortable chairs up there. Water up there, of course, like a chest up there with ice and like waters or whatever for people. And just have people come up one at a time, whoever would like to. And instead of just yelling out questions and stuff like that or whatever, have people come up and just do like I do on my call-in shows, hang out with y'all we'll put a timer on, put a cap on however many minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, something like that. And then just hang out and chat. You don't even have to use all the time. If you want to, you can. A chance to connect instead of just through the internet, or again, just seeing you halfway across my site's not the best. So, I think that'd be fun. What do you guys think about that? And just spend some time and do it for a few hours, like 2 or 3 hours or something, or 4 hours, or whoever knows. I do long shows online. I can do 5, 6 hours, maybe just however long it takes. I don't know. But what do you guys think about all these ideas? Am I just being crazy, or would that be fun? Think that'd be interesting. Let me see. I'll give it a little bit of time. It takes live chat a little bit. So let me do this. Move on to the next. Her name is, Myra Moore. So thanks for praying for her family. All worked out. Says, starting to believe that California is just one massive ongoing experiment, Conscious Juice says. Let's check this out. This is crazy. Look at this footage, though.
Y'all, look at this. Look at this. What are they doing to California? Oh my God. Y'all think that's the ocean, huh? No, bro. This is that fog. Look at this. Look at the color of that fog underneath that sun, bro. This shit look like a whole movie, bro. Remember the movie The Mist? Remember they told us about this? What happened?
Oh, that's a good catch.
God, bro. Apparently people are saying they have been experiencing fog for about 2 weeks now, and we're just hearing about this. Look at the color of the fog. Y'all see that?
You guys, that fog has been back yesterday and today. It's weird. The 2 days before that it was sunny and clear, but literally it's been like this for like a week. Just doesn't seem normal. And the temperature really isn't changing much at all.
Y'all see that? Look at that. It's a whole wall. Look at that, y'all. Y'all see the colors?
Stuff.
She says she thinks it's some type of chemical type of fog. Maybe the way that she's experiencing. Do y'all smell sulfur? Remember last year this happened and people were smelling sulfur? Do y'all smell that? I mean, look at it from a plane, y'all. Look at this. Oh my goodness, man. You got a whole layer over here, you can't get through, and then you have clouds on top of clouds. How does that make sense? What?
This is so insane. This is where I live, and it's right on the start of the Central Valley fog. Look at this. This goes on for hundreds of miles across the entire Central Valley of California. You can see, look at that. Miles on miles of fog. It's just a blanket.
Yeah, that's a good capture. Crazy stuff. Yeah, The Mist. It's a good catch. I don't know, or maybe I would do it like in Missouri, like in Branson, Missouri or something. I rent a place. I'm gonna pray about it and just see if it's a real thing. I put stuff like that in the Lord's hands. I mean, and I've done it before and I still haven't done anything like that, but just just Lord, if there's a purpose, if there's a reason, if it's a good thing, if it's a good idea to do, just to have us all have a chance, some of us at least, who can be around. But Missouri would be more central in America, also. You know what I mean? That's a little more in the center at least, but. So maybe it's closer for some people. I don't know. Like I said, I want to pray about it. It's just kind of shooting things off the top of my head here. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for the suggestions, though. I know some people have been throwing some ideas out there and some suggestions. We'll see. I'll see how it all plays out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. And then this is titled, Here's Proof. A man was mocking, saying he doesn't believe in ghosts and joking about ghosts, and then this happened, is what it says. 19 seconds. Oh, actually, yeah, this is some really freaky footage. So I don't know. Again, a lot of the stuff we can't be sure. Certainly there's things that are real, that are creepy, that are captured on camera, supernatural, paranormal stuff. But again, it's also the AI age we're moving into more and more. And so it can get a little tricky there. But even before AI, there was CGI and stuff, effects, like we saw earlier in that one video. The multiple shots of that kind of black thing morphing it looked like morphing in the air. So there's all that. There's tricks and stuff. Sometimes can't be sure. But this one just kind of gave me a chill because I don't know exactly where it's at. It's just the man's accent. It sounds like... somewhere in at least Asia, I would say, in that area. And it looked like this thing you're about to see looks like something that they've reported, like a kind of a ghost thing. That's why they made so many movies that look like these things. The way it moves, too.
Ini loh saudara lo nih bawa kalian ini.
He's scared.
Ini loh saudara lo nih bawa kalian ini.
I don't know. I think the second I saw that, let's see if I can pause it. Oh, here. You know what we could do is do it super slow with no audio. Now let's watch the rest of it. Time I saw that, I'd be out. Or maybe you have enough courage in the moment to call out in Jesus' name to get out of here. But then you're not sure if you're dealing with maybe someone who's just a psycho that's dressed up or something. But then the way it's moving, it's bouncing. It still went by pretty quick. Here we go. Oh, hi. Yeah, it's like bouncing up and down. It's kind of got a weird fluorescent-ish type glow. It's almost transparent. Almost looks like a hologram, but you can tell it looks like it's a lady with long hair. Looks like she's wearing a dress. That's what I see, at least. In the foreground, that's some plant. It's for perspective. And this is the thing that's kind of bouncing up and down slowly. Yeah, he didn't wait. The second he saw that, he was out. He freaked out for sure. Okay, so there you go. It says, I love how no one cares they basically real confirmed ghosts in Southeast Asia, Philippines, and Indonesia. This is 5.5 million views. I'd say deservedly so, but yeah, that's really freaky. The way it moved in so quickly, slowly bouncing up and down. Oh yeah, look at this. South Park, it says, predicted what would happen with Mr. Reiner, which is, I'll keep the audio down, but still, that's pretty interesting, if you guys have ever seen that, because this is They did have Rob Reiner as a character in some of their shows many years ago. I can't remember how long, but I remember they did a long time ago. I think they poked a lot of fun at him for being, so extremely left, things like this. And then at one point, Cartman does this to him. He's missing a brain. Yeah, they weren't big fans of him. So there you go. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy how some of these things happen. Plus, we know his son wasn't right. They just diagnosed him schizophrenic also. But before that, in fact, I got a couple of videos coming up on Monday, like 6 minutes of footage of him from years ago. Some pretty interesting stuff that I probably in the best place to play here, but it's pretty crazy. It's a real look into this person's mind. But so we know he has a history of abusing, all kinds of drugs. So what if maybe, man, that one night, that he was mad and everything, went home, he turned on the TV for a little bit to wind down. That old episode came on, and then that's what he saw or something. I don't know. It'd be so crazy. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's like the old episode with his dad on it that ends up like that. And he's on all kinds of stuff, and his mind's going, rah, 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 and next thing you know, his dad comes in, and now he sees his dad wearing that same sweater from the cartoon in his mind. It says, just in Augusta, Georgia, residents claim an alien was hovering in their skies. Oh, yeah, it's another good capture of, one of the squids or the dementors, if you will. See, everyone always wants to say it's one of these octopus paw stereotentacles kites, but they're seen all over the place, all over the world. Different, always a different background. I mean, like sometimes over the city, sometimes over a neighborhood, sometimes over a field. I've done comparisons. I need to do that sometime. I need to do a good comparison video of all these, the ones that I believe are legit, and then show the ones that are obviously kites.
Oh my God! Alexis! 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 Oh my God! Oh fucking way! Oh my God!
See, like, you really think, is that a kite? Is that how high? Because if that's the case, then we'd be seeing kites all the time, right? Right? I mean, I don't know. Am I right? Like, I feel like if it's just a kite, I mean, is that a normal height for them? If it is, then again, it should be standard practice. Anytime someone's flying a kite, you'd think it'd just be something you'd kind of see quite a bit. But I don't. I don't know about you.
Alexis!
But look the way it's moving.
Alexis! Alexis! Oh my God!
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of them. I definitely don't. I know they're not all just kites. So I'll do a comparison video sometime, just to set the record straight. 3i Atlas update. Bopo. Because yesterday was supposed to be the first time we could actually see it most clearly, so I think I have a few videos today about that. And this is one of them.
I have something to show you.
You better.
It's brand new. It just dropped. Space Tracker released a set of deep zoom images of 3i Atlas, and they are honestly very strange. Now, to start, these aren't single photos. They're 20-minute stacked exposures from an observer named Diego San Arojo. Hopefully I said that right. But Space Tracker stabilized the frames, zoomed in 4,000%. They removed noise, corrected color, and averaged everything together. When you stack frames over 20 minutes, you reveal structures that are completely invisible in a single snapshot. And what it shows is a 4-point star, basically star-shaped luminous core, surrounded by kind of a plasma-like haze. The symmetry is unusual, and the biggest surprise is that there's no obvious tail direction in this averaged composite, even though we know that the object has both dust and ion jets. So here's where the conversation gets a little interesting, and I'm going to call this kind of the woo-woo section. But it's worth talking about because, well, you'll see why. Just last week, Medium published an article called 3i Atlas Complex Jet Structured Angles Revealed. And in it, they traced out the potential jet geometry. The outline they mapped actually resembles a figure from a medieval artwork, specifically one of the little crafts in the fresco of the Crucifixion of Christ. People have also taken it a step further. Some are saying that this new 4,000% deep zoom image looks like Ezekiel's wheel from biblical descriptions.
Whoa.
Again, these are visual parallels, not literal interpretations. But humans do compare unfamiliar things to old imagery to make sense of them. But I get why these comparisons are circulating.
Boom, boom. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Comet 3i Atlas, if anything. We're still here. There's been no major contact. Haven't seen the ghost lights appearing all over the world. This metaverse theater in China blurs reality so hard its simulations make people lose balance. Yeah, this is another one that, let me see here. Slide this one. There. Yeah, this is another one of importance. Just look at how crazy this is. And we know this is a big part of what's coming. So, for the world, would this be entertaining or no? What do you think? I'll keep the song off. Actually, it's X. You can get away with it usually. Being fully immersed in it. It's kind of like those paintings on the ground. The dog. Crazy, man. I don't know. I can imagine when I was younger, might be fun, especially when you're in your party phase. Is it late teens and early 20s and all that? Some people never stop that phase, but when you're heavy into it, that might have been a fun thing to go do. You know, eating some shrooms with your friends. Now, this is long ago in my life, but you know, eating a few shrooms, having a few brews, and then having a group of y'all go inside something like that for a little while. I don't know how cool that'd be or if that'd be too much under those conditions. Probably too much. But when you're in those years, if you're in those years, you know, that's what you want. You know, hey, let's go, man. Let's go. Breaking on through the other side tonight, man. You know. People are freaking out over tall beings, in quotes, in the West Coast. And it just got crazier. Let's check this out here. From James, Jaymez, YouTube channel.
A few days later, a woman in the United States reports seeing something similar in her backyard, and she actually records a video of it.
A really long night. Something earlier chased my husband and my son Alexander when they were taking one of the chickens back outside.
It was moving really fast.
Yeah.
Really faster than deer.
Right there, left. I just saw eyes right there.
So at this point, I'm thinking, maybe there's something going on. Maybe this is not just some sort of coincidence. So I start researching and I find this post on Reddit 12 days ago by 13 Zillion. He says, we don't know what just happened. And according to him, his entire family was woken up by a Black Hawk chopper followed by a bright light. They go outside and they see this marking on their porch. Fast forward a few days and strange incidents continue on happening. In Washington State, a massive 100-foot ghost ship floated into Mukilteo Terminal with nobody on board. This was 2 days ago. And that same day, hundreds of people in Bogota, Colombia saw something, some sort of anomaly in the sky.
What the? Oh yeah, check
Warrington's
this out.
video. It seems as if something started happening about 2 weeks ago. Something.
I tried to go find this lady's channel. I think I might have. Let me take a look real quick so we can get the full-on clips from her. Is this it? Might be. Yeah, here we go. All right. But, oh yeah, here we go. I think this is it. Let's see. Yeah, this is her channel, and I think it's the top videos, so. Yeah, it's these up here. All right, so I'll start here, and then we'll go into these next two. These three are pinned. So we'll get it straight from her, no offense to James. But I like to kind of go straight to the source when I can.
I live in the Smoky Mountains, near the Appalachian border, okay? In Kodak, Tennessee. It's 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I need you to know what I just saw in the woods, okay? So let's go. It's a regular night. Me and our daughter are sitting in our hot tub on our property, and she's on the phone with one of her friends, all right? Then I hear some leaves. Can't think anything about it, but we've got like lots of critters and stuff running around, so I stand up over on the ledge of the hot tub to look over our privacy fence to shine the light. I have my shot pew in my left hand and my spotlight in my right hand, and I'm looking. Boom. See it. I say, Kaylin, get down right now. She gets off. She's standing in the hot tub. We're looking at this at the same time. I see this. Just one glowing green eye, okay? Everything around it is completely distorted. You can't see the two privacy lights that are long ways on the other property behind it. You can't see the red tower in the background. You can't see anything, okay? Everything around it is completely distorted. So I'm shining the light on it constantly, thinking that eventually it'll move. I'll be able to tell what it is, okay? And it does like this. And it's at this moment that I realize that whatever is watching us is intelligent and is watching us, okay? So we keep looking, trying to figure out what's going on. I watched this thing, we both did, go crash down like this, okay? So now I can see like this instead of like this, from 4 legs, and stand up and step around the tree from 4 legs to 2 legs, okay? And then it starts like this, like stepping, like weird gait, okay? It's not moving quickly. It's still just me and it, and that's it, all right? Me and my daughter and this thing. Complete silence. Complete silence. There should be noise from it walking on the leaves, moving through the woods. Nothing. We got the hell out of there so quick. I need to know if anybody has seen or experienced anything like this. I don't know how long that thing was watching us, but literally, just like this. And then it decides, okay, you're gonna keep watching me, fine. No. And why? If I'm shining my light directly on you, all I can tell is that you go from 4 legs to 2 legs, but I can't see anything else. I can't tell if you're hairy. I can't tell what color you are. I can't make out any facial features. Just 2 glowing green eyes. That's it. Here's what's bothering me so bad about this encounter, okay? It saw me scanning the woods for a while. It could have completely hidden. It could have ducked down. It could have left. And I wouldn't have known anything. It chose to continue to let me see it like this. It chose when to reveal itself. And it still didn't turn. It didn't leave. It didn't do anything except for get bigger and move towards us. And the strides that this thing was taking to walk and move. I know for a fact it was at least 7 feet tall, but I'm serious when I say when it got big, I'm thinking it had to have been at least 8 or 9 feet tall and completely silent, okay? And my husband saw something out there the other night, but it wasn't alone. But again, watching it move, no noise. No noise.
So this is the end of it, but wait. There's more. So there's 3 pinned videos on this.
By the way,
Okay, that wasn't it. I think this is the next one. Yeah, it's the next one about it. So their audio is a little bit low, but you can hear it at least on this one.
Earlier chased
It gets
my
higher.
husband and my son Alexander when they were taking one of the chickens back outside.
Okay. So after it was moving really fast.
Yeah.
Really fast. Faster than deer.
Towards
Really-
us.
well,
Yeah, from the
us.
same fucking place. The same place.
So I shot.
Lights to the right.
I shot a couple of times.
Right, fired off around.
Well, I shot. I think I may have even hit it.
Right there, left. I just saw eyes right there.
Yeah, we've been seeing eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck
They're
that.
all over there.
I'm going inside and I'm telling them what happened.
Telling you what happened. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. That's.
This is insane.
Clearly, something.
This is insane. Okay, my phone died. It literally went from 60 to 1 and then it died, okay? So we're sitting here, we realize what's going on. I say it's the chairs being drug across the concrete, okay? Then all of a sudden we hear tapping. The door is on the other side of this, right through those doors right there. The tapping was through there. That's where the hot tub is, on that side. And right along that side of the property line right there is where it was last night, okay? Then, right after 4 taps on that glass, something tried to put in a code on my front door, and it was wrong, and it went da-na-na-na, and then it left, and it was complete silence. My 2 oldest boys were at the gym. My other son, who is 16, and my husband, who protects our home mostly, okay, were gone. This thing waited until the protectors of our home were gone to intimidate us. And not 1, but 2 this time. I immediately went. I got my AR. I slammed in the clip.
All right, we got it. She fended it off, but here's the last one.
It exited out what I was trying to record.
Wait, let me find it. Yeah, this is the latest, I believe.
It exited out what I was trying to record. I never used to leave my front porch lights on. What the fuck is that? Hey, yo, what the fuck is that?
She just keeps saying that over and over. There's something that looks like crouched down on the porch. What the? And then there's something on the side here too. Looks weird. Alright, interesting. So I'm not sure what to think. There was one, I guess we saw it, where the trees were shaking really bad. Yeah, I guess that's really it. It's mainly those 3. And yeah, she doesn't usually do supernatural type videos or anything. It looks like it's all, farming, probably homesteading type stuff. Thanks, lady. Okaden is her channel over on TikTok. Here's a really weird one I hadn't heard. It's just music the whole time and then titles, so we'll just kind of go through and read some. But did you know the Obamas, of all people, were supposed to meet Rob and Michelle Reiner the day that they were found passed? Did you know this? How do so many roads lead back to Obama? So many. He's also been in the news for other reasons here lately, but yeah. All comes back to old Akhenaten. Barry Toro. But he changed his name that actually breaks down to Lightning Fallen from Heaven. So that's kind of a trip. Barack Hussein Obama, all together. Excuse me, they were supposed to meet Rob and Michelle that day, which is a trip. They revealed that they were scheduled to see them and his photographer wife on Sunday evening. Okay. Later found out they'd been found passed in their home that afternoon. Says we've known them for many, many years and we're supposed to be seeing them that night, last night, and we got the news. So isn't it interesting that now all of a sudden Michelle, big Mike, but Michelle goes up on Jimmy Kimmel Show of all people, Mr. Mason himself, Masonic Jim, goes on the Jimmy Kimmel Show and has a story all set up for it. Let's not forget the mysterious situation with the chef. It's another one. Mysterious situation. Trump appeared to address Trump, who launched a scathing attack on Reiner. Yeah, we know. Says, unlike some people, Rob and Michelle Reiner are some of the most decent, courageous people you ever want to know. They're not deranged or crazed, but they have always been or passionate. Yeah, they did a lot of, posted a lot of stuff that was anti-Trump, and they were really against him. He came back at him pretty hard, but who cares? It's all to me just that circus stuff, People get caught up on it. Anyway, there's a whole long thing that Michelle had to say. Had the speech all ready for Jimmy Kimmel and how horrible Trump is, what a piece of trash. But Michelle, they have compassion. But then we saw those clips of her podcast or his podcast recently, complaining about white women. These white women. Keep your hands off our hair. All right, it's like I'm just come on, man. Just fanning those flames, man. Loving it. They do. Says, how real is our reality? Maybe this is a case of spy birds, but who really knows? This is a crazy one. Check this out.
Do you want to know why the conspiracy regarding fake birds or spy birds will never go away? It's because videos like this that randomly pop up, this was captured by a witness in Kazakhstan. He records what appears to be a pigeon that has wires poking out of its back. Literally all alongside its back, it has wires coming out. Like, what is this? And no, this is an AI. This is an actual video. Stop saying again, if it flies, it spies. Take a look at this. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
Weird. Look at that. Very strange, isn't it? Look at that. Is it wires? Or is it some just weird growth on the bird? Bird itself. What do you think about the bird itself, the way it looks? Does it look normal? Does it look like a plastic head? Does it look normal? Like a normal head? Now it does. Looks like a wire. There we go. That's a good shot. There we go. So yeah, it certainly looks like wires now because it looks like some kind of a panel on its back, doesn't it? Like a white. Looks like it's a clearly there's something that was placed on there that's not natural. You can see kind of it squaring off. There's corners, edges, and there's those long things coming out of it. So that's kind of strange. Creepy stuff. It's weird. Speaking of that, a bird just jumped on one of the bird feeders out there. That's pretty cool. I always love to see that. Here's a weird one. I guess I showed you guys last week that Angel Studios, of all places, they've really been doing it right. They're doing real family entertainment. I've knocked a few out of the park. Sound of Silence they did, that was from them, and you were getting a good track record. They're behind, The Chosen. I mean, all kinds of good Christian kind of family. I mean, none of it's perfect, but still, they're trying. And then all of a sudden, we saw this clip last week for Animal Farm. It's like a new animated thing from Seth Rogen. Oof, right? Of all people are with him in it, and they flipped the whole message. It was supposed to be anti-communism. That was the original message in Animal Farm. It was pretty grim too, but it was harsh. But it was a telling the truth. And then this new one, they flipped the message to where it's capitalism's the enemy, right? So unfortunate. Right, and then to answer back, Angel Studios made this little animation. They said, "You caught us. If Animal Farm triggered you, make sure you don't watch this clip of Karl Marx from Tuttle Twins." And it's like, this isn't the right way to answer your audience, I don't think. I'm sure they needed the money. I mean, or did they though? I mean, that bad? But I don't know. It's just a bad move, I think.
Tuttle Twins! It's a cartoon that teaches kids terrible things like free markets and critical thinking and how communism has murdered tens of millions of people. That's not true. It's murdered a lot more than that. Anyway, think of the children. And do not download the Angel app to watch the Tuttle Twins for free. And do not subscribe to get access to all episodes with stupid guest stars like Mike Rowe and Dr. Ben Carson with dumb lessons like the danger of inflation, CBDCs, and public school. If you need more convincing, here is my TikTok dance. Yo it.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all just got kind of weird. It says your conservative base is rallying against you for botching Animal Farm. It says, did you not read the script before you bought it? Embarrassing. What am I watching? Yeah, I don't know. Probably not the best answer, I'd say back, to the audience. Northern California resident says they've been having really heavy fog that has stuff in it. So here's another one. It's recording stuff in the fog. Stuff, I say, but he says another word.
But when they say they're shit in this fucking fog,
yeah,
and I've just been driving regularly, what is this shit right here? There's something in the fog that I can't explain, but I ain't drove through nothing but fog, and look at this shit. Check y'all shit, y'all. Crazy. Look. It's on that, but not on my windshield. What's going on? Ooh, they got asbestos in the air. That's crazy. But when they say they're shit in this fucking fog, and I just been driving regular.
Yeah, there is something, right? Look at that. It's a mess. What in the crap? Going into people's lungs. Not cool. Not cool. I don't like it. And like I said, I got the effects this year's of the fog, just like last year. Just respiratory. Never a single sore throat or not even a fever or anything. It was just constant respiratory stuff. A mom uses AI. Oh, this is a good one. This is another kind of doom break. Might give some of you parents an idea. But this mom used AI to make her children's messes look like they were on the news, and it worked. This is some classic stuff. Check this out. If you're going to use AI, I mean.
And now, let's move on to the main news of the two children named Elon and Lux have still not cleaned up their room. Our special correspondent Maria joins us. We will keep you updated on the situation.
Hello, Oliver. The floor is covered with drawings, toys, and the bed is unmade. In a word, total chaos. There's no doubt that if Elon and Lux don't clean up today, a special service will come and take all the toys away from the house.
So there you go. I don't know if any of you parents have ever tried anything like that. I guess if you're going to use AI. The ground is collapsing. 700 giant sinkholes, I showed you all this last week also, open as end times fears erupt. The earth isn't cracking, it's giving way. Turkey, China, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, all but experiencing these. One reported collapse dropped 600 feet, revealing ancient trees preserved underground. Different continents, same phenomenon. Same moment in time. Let's check this out from this young man. Let's check this out from this upstanding citizen.
Sinkholes opening up
As far as we know.
throughout Turkey. So apparently 700 sinkholes have opened up throughout Turkey, some of them quite large, being able to swallow entire sections of cities. But now this coincides with a biblical prophecy in the book of Numbers. Let's take a look at some of these sinkholes. So this is one of 700 sinkholes that have opened up across Turkey. As you can see, they're not small ones. These are gigantic. Here's another one that opened up right in the middle of a farmer's field. You can see how large this is. So here's a video of the vastness of some of these sinkholes that was put out by the London Daily Mail. And they look like meteor craters. They're so big. These are drones that are flying inside of the sinkholes throughout Turkey. Like I said, there are 700 of these. And apparently in the book of Numbers, they talk about sinkholes opening up like this sometime. And apparently this is happening all throughout Turkey very rapidly. I didn't really realize it was quite so many and so large. But this, this is something that the world has probably never seen or hasn't seen since
700
mankind. You can see the chambers. Oh my God, it opened up the chambers. Look at it.
Whoa.
Could there be uncovered civilizations that emerge from
maybe
this?
that's what's being revealed.
Shit. It's not just Turkey either. This is in Indonesia, right when the time the flooding started, and there's massive sinkholes opening up there as well in some locations. So, yeah, I didn't have that on my fucking bingo card.
Whoa. Man, feel bad for all those Uber Eats drivers.
Here's another sinkhole that opened up in Turkey. This photo is from yesterday, actually. So here's a sinkhole that opened up in China, 600 feet deep, and they found ancient trees inside of the sinkhole.
Whoa.
Here's a wide image of the field of sinkholes that have opened up throughout Turkey. Here's some more right here. Here's one that opened up in a road in Saudi Arabia 4 days ago. And here's one that happened in Thailand about a week ago.
Whoa.
So we can just kind of go forward there and you can see how... Now obviously this is liquefaction in this particular case, but it is showing that there's sinkholes popping up basically everywhere throughout the world. And some of these, like the ones in Turkey, are not small. They are ginormous.
Yeah. So that was a good little few minutes of just keeping us caught up in all the different sinkholes appearing all over the place in these times. It's just very interesting. Earth changing so quickly, so rapidly. 700 sinkholes. That's, I mean, they're already not that common in the first place. But then all of a sudden, This is really amazing. It says he made this Jesus art just by writing. Man, this is incredible. Just by writing Jesus 14,983 different times. And he did this within 29 hours. Look at what this young man did. Beautiful. Yeah, Lucas, I'd love that print too. Isn't that cool? Just so much talent, so much, just a beautiful gift to have all just his name. Beautiful. Lovely. I didn't get his name on here, unfortunately. This man's name's hard to say. Saint Adagajoli. That's the guy I found. But you can just put up, artist writes Jesus' name and creates image of Jesus, something like that. You'll find it. It's a really nice one to share with people. This person says, I live here in Central Valley and it was raining a couple minutes ago, and this is one of the people I told you about that capture the blue water. Here comes the loony bin. Let's see if they didn't come by. Almost. Chubbs is still sleeping, but when they get close, he perks up. He knows. Chance.
It was raining a couple minutes ago. Can anyone explain the blue water? So I live here in the Central Valley, and it was raining a couple minutes ago. Can anyone explain the blue water?
Right? So we'd seen some of this last year also, the blue water. Just like the mysterious fog had last year. Trump administration suspends, 4-0 and a whole bunch of other zero tech deal with UK. U.S. officials said they were frustrated by the UK's strict approach to online safety, so back to the shutting down free speech. Make no mistake, this is the direct result of the way the British government and Keir Starmer are destroying the UK, including free speech, it says. So let's check this out.
Officials have said the US has paused a $40 billion technology agreement with Britain. It's following concerns in Washington over London's approach to digital regulation and food standards. The so-called tech prosperity deal covered AI, quantum computing and civil nuclear energy, and was agreed during Donald Trump's state visit in Britain in September. Britain hailed the visit as proof of Prime Minister Keir Starmer's ability to work with Trump on trade and tech. It became the first country to agree in principle to lower some US tariffs in May. But implementation has been slow. Talks on sectors such as steel stalled, though the two sides agreed a framework pharmaceutical deal earlier this month. British officials confirmed on Tuesday that the US has paused implementation of the tech deal. The New York Times said US officials were frustrated by Britain's online safety rules, digital services tax, and food safety restrictions.
All right, there we go. Probably a good idea. Shut them down, please. They're treating their people horribly while they're letting the unwelcome visitors, run rampant, doing what they will. Excuse me. Young woman is going viral after questioning the disappearance of positive black TV shows from modern television. I hadn't thought about it, but then I saw this and I was like, wow, gosh, you look back to some of the examples and it's like, yeah, it used to be a lot of them. They were good. They were all like pro family and, doing what's right and just living good,
As a black person, I can't turn on the TV and find not one single show that portrays my community in a positive light. We used to have Martin, we had Living Single, we had Sister, we had all that. We had a different world where black people was at college. We could see that, on the Cosby Show, this black man is a doctor, so I can go be a doctor if I want to. Carl Winslow was a police officer. I could go be a police officer if I want to. We don't have not a single show that portrays us in a positive light. The whole Power Book series is so good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a very good series. It's very interesting. The storyline is great. But in all of them, we drug dealers and murderers. It ain't a single show. A little black girl can't turn on the TV and see a mama and a daddy in a household thriving. It's either us doing something that's bad, or it's reality TV, which is just showing black women fight other black women over nothing, like men. We even had cartoons like The Proud Family. We had That's So Raven. We had stuff that portrays the black community in a positive light. We don't have that anymore. And there's a certain aura that you get when you watch stuff like that. Like, dang, I wish I was around during those times. But now when you turn on the TV, it is not a single show that you can go to that is portraying black people in a positive way. Even Tyler Perry can't get it together. That's crazy.
I got some birds out here.
Is turning on the TV and admiring BBLs and lace fronts fighting over men. And a lot of y'all gonna cancel me because y'all watch that stuff. And no tea, no shade. My little sister watch it. I hate that stuff. My mama watch it. It's the black community. It's nothing else on TV. If you ain't watching sports, or you ain't going back and watching 1,000 reruns of Living Single and Martin and stuff like I do,
Looney Bin's coming.
it's really nothing
Hold on,
positive
Chubbs.
feeding the black community on TV anymore. And that
Oh, they're
is a
close.
whole nother agenda. That is crazy. I never thought.
Okay, we got it.
I never thought. You used to turn on the TV and it'd be a bunch of different good black shows.
Yeah, I mean, excellent point, though. There really were. Even my generation grew up on a lot of great black shows. What's happening? Somebody mentioned in chat. I was thinking about that. Raj, Rerun, Shirley. Man, loved it. Yeah, that was a classic. Classic, man. Definitely one of my favorites back then. And Jefferson's was out there. And there's all kinds. I can't remember. I can't name them all. I wasn't watching all of them myself. But I know there's a whole thing there. And then it's grown. And yeah, there used to be a lot of positive role models. There's one they're always advertising where I live called The Neighborhood, which is just nonsense. I mean, it's, how goofy and stupid white people are. They move in a black neighborhood, I guess, and it's all just how dumb white man is, seems. But it's also funny because the main character, the black man, is a family man, but he is constantly wearing his work shirt, which is a Masonic black and white tile board on his pocket on his shirt. So it's like, okay, we get it. That must be why they're doing separation comedy like that. Again, fan of the flames of that kind of stuff. There's probably a message in there every now and then that's nice, but otherwise, 90,000 Somalis march south as Trump's ICE battalions flatten Minneapolis from Cash Jordan from just 4 days ago. So I guess this is really serious. I mean, the Trump administration's taking this one seriously. They've uncovered a lot of really bad stuff out here in Minneapolis. Gotta say, hopefully you guys hear the birds in the background. I've got these bird feeders out here, and they're really coming down. It's good to see them, man. It's been a while. And this is December. It's crazy. But once again, the weather's off. This week, we're going to have 70s. It's going to be amazing. So it's going to be a lot of days just having the doors up. Wow, there's a robin. I'm not even kidding. I wish I could show you this. A red robin just landed on the out on the patio. Checking things out. Now he hit the bird feeder, or she. Beautiful. Beautiful. A couple different shades of red. Just munching. I'm loving it. Good to see you, my friend. Hang out, please. Tell your friends. I cleaned those bird feeders out last year. Refilled them. Both of them. And it was just weird how many birds just weren't coming around. Now, I got a beautiful red robin out there I get to stare at for a little bit. So, okay. Enough about me. Let's watch some of this report.
immigration crackdown that's currently underway in our state.
The Department of Homeland Security says it's arresting, quote, worst of the worst and sharing those latest numbers.
So, as federal agents descend upon the lawless state of Minnesota, Americans are growing worried about the insane levels of fraud being uncovered here. And we aren't just talking about immigration fraud or identity theft, but the billions of dollars meant for needy U.S. residents secretly given to politically connected fraudsters. And, by the way, this amount of money seems to be growing every single day.
Well, Sandra, several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have told state lawmakers that by the time these investigations are through, they believe the actual size of this fraud could be higher than $8 billion.
Since launching Operation Metro Surge on Monday, DHS has arrested 12 people. ICE has not responded to questions about the operation.
I could see the agents getting off of the plane and unfurling these long shackles on the ground.
An emotion-filled but peaceful protest. But last week, a protest of federal agents turned into a very different scene.
Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats.
Everyone knows that our president is racist, xenophobic, and we are gonna fight that. America has a history of fighting and stopping.
They're arguing on race-based identity politics. This is antithetical to the American way. It's antithetical to the Constitution. It is antithetical to all philosophy and Western reason, period.
Chill.
You really can't make this stuff up. So this guy here getting arrested, he's had removal orders against him since 2004. But here he is with Governor Walz and Representative Omar. Yet, for some reason, they're both playing dumb. They don't know how any of this fraud took place, and nobody's talking about how the more we learn about this fraud, the worse it gets for America. Because initially we were told there was no fraud here at all. Nothing. Not even immigration fraud, because most of the folks living in Minnesota are naturalized legal immigrants. But a DHS investigation blew that up, revealing that 50% of visa applicants committed fraud. And then we hear about how welfare draining schemes may have stolen an eye-popping $1 billion so far. And I say that because the number just keeps getting bigger. Every time we uncover something, there seems to be more waiting to be discovered.
The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. And we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people.
But it gets even worse because there's one political party that has its fingerprints all over this scheme, and that would be the left field socialists in America who benefit from an open border and want as many people on government assistance as possible, creating for themselves a permanent underclass that can only improve their lives by voting in one direction. And to accomplish this, they're defrauding hard-working Americans, which brings us to the real reason the Trump administration is really going after Minnesota right now. There is so much fraud here. We need an entire government approach. We need ICE, the FBI, every federal agency we have, because the country is just getting plundered left and right. But it gets even worse once you realize the captain of this fraud scheme, Governor Walz, was inches from running America as the vice president, which raises another question. Why would an entire political party elevate such an individual?
Programs are run by the states, which in Minnesota means the Tim Walz administration. Governor Walz and the state's other Democrats rely on Somali votes to get elected, so they decided to look the other way because they were afraid of quote-unquote political backlash. Don't take my word for it. That's what a Somali American fraud investigator told New York Times. One program designed to provide housing stabilization assistance to patients ballooned to $104 million, when 4 years ago it was projected to cost only $2.6 million.
And that's just one of the schemes. There were multiple ways that America's money was being stolen and given to fraudsters. Housing for patients wasn't alone. We also had fake food service providers and fake healthcare providers who were given money to treat fictitious patients who never existed. It's like every single method of government funding in this state was plundered in some way. Yet nobody saw it coming. Nobody knew any of this was happening. Everyone convicted. Oh, I'm so shocked. I had no idea that this person was doing something so illegal.
The story keeps getting worse and worse, but let's focus for a moment on Ilhan Omar
and her allies.
The largest single entity within the Feeding Our Future fraud was a restaurant in South Minneapolis called Safari Restaurant. And Ilhan Omar has close ties to the owners.
So here we have one of the restaurant establishments which was being used as a front for feeding children who never existed. And oddly enough, the purveyors of this scheme were well connected enough to use it as a party venue for Representative Omar. And with all the photos these scammers were taking with elected representatives, things here certainly look suspicious. And as you're about to see, the red flags and blaring sirens that there was a big problem here, they've existed, but people just turned a blind eye for some reason.
Well, Sandra, several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have told state lawmakers that by the time these investigations are through, they believe the actual size of this fraud, the amount of taxpayer dollars that has been stolen, could be higher than $8 billion.
Wow.
We are already seeing some
Crazy.
of that. 2 days into the Small Business Administration's investigation, Secretary Kelly Loeffler says the agency has uncovered at least $1 million in PPP fraud. And
Wow.
the state itself is now looking into
Those
the
were the loans
possibility
for
of fraud
businesses.
in another Medicaid program. Minnesota's Department of Human Services is now pausing the issuing of new licenses for disability service providers over concerns of fraud after an explosion in the number of applications for new licenses over the past 5 years.
Oops.
Going up 283%,
Wow.
while the number of people needing those services only increased by 25%.
Whoa.
So then why do they need so many licenses to...
All right, so I'll move on, but he always does a good report, this guy. Cash Jordan, over on YouTube, excellent report. So it's pretty cool, man. It's good to see them actually going after this corruption. So keep you updated on that. Probably through Cash Jordan is one source. Meanwhile, in the Northwest Pacific America, crazy, insanely devastating flood spanning over several states is being almost completely ignored by dinosaur media, if you will. I won't. That's just me. It's December 16th. Billions of gallons of water per second. Sumas, Washington, December 12th. Wow, up to the pump. The water. 3 Seattle suburbs evacuated. That's the levee from the Green River. More rain forecast. Authorities are scrambling. The Silitz River, Oregon. Whole sections of highways washed away across multiple states. This is Highway 2 near Tumwater Canyon, Washington, December 16th. Libby, Montana. Look at that. Auburn area, Washington State. I mean, this is biblical flooding, if you will. Local news crews have done their best to cover events, but most national networks have ignored it. Here's British Columbia, Abbotsford. Farms, homes, and livelihoods destroyed, many in remote rural communities of the Northwest. While National Guard has been deployed quickly elsewhere, there has been no statement on the flooding from the White House. At the Snoqualmie Valley Golf Center, Washington, they now travel through the clubhouse on a boat. With more rain falling from a second atmospheric river, there may be worse still to come. Oh, look at that. Snoqualmie Falls. That's frightening. With national news looking elsewhere, FEMA gutted a federal government agency saying something about their communities now on their own. Okay. Kind of lost the end of the message, but I think we kept up for the most part. So keep those people in your prayers. Try to keep you updated on that. Here's an interesting observation from Real Moon Henry. See what he's got to say, if you will. Well, I guess you won't. There we go.
So this kid and his dad were watching Fallen Angels on live TV.
This is gonna blow your mind, and we're going to go down rabbit holes you did not even know existed.
Word.
So this kid and his dad were watching TV, and they're watching right after a missile was shot, I believe around one of the Middle Eastern places we can't speak of, and he said he saw a demon or an angel flying right at the same time, or like right after it happened. I'm gonna show you that, then I'm gonna slow it down, then we're gonna go from there.
Okay, me and my dad were just sitting here watching Fox News, and I think we just accidentally seen Fox News just showed either angels or demons coming in after a missile.
Specifically fallen angels, but continue. And this was it. But we're gonna slow it way the heck down. Now we're gonna watch it slow down and enhance. So you can see it's flapping its wings, going that way. Let me get out the way. And down at the bottom right, you're going to see it again very clearly, flapping its wings like a man. Man angel. Now, what if I told you that this has been caught before, but many times, and even further, a magazine cover predicted it. This, my friend, is a video of Mothman from like Fox or some kind of news. Quite literally a man with wings. You can watch the full video. Very known piece of film. How do I know he's a fallen angel? He has a day of worship once a year, Mothman Day. And he shows up at the signs of natural disasters. Let's get to that magazine I was telling you guys about. He said the demon or the angel, which is the fallen angel, was seen with a missile. You see it yet? That's right, here they are. Pause this and look at the names on the head. Yo, I'll be darned. This right here is insane. Let me know what you think down in the comments. They caught fallen angels on live TV. This is gonna blow your mind, and we're going to go down rabbit holes you did not even know existed.
All right, thanks, Real Moon Henry. Appreciate it, sir. Interesting footage and perspective.
I'm going to sound like a broken record or something, but I don't think people realize who and what we're dealing with here. And if you don't know what the CIA is, it's a talent agency that manages anyone.
I did a video long ago showing you guys a kind of a satellite view of CAA, one of the biggest talent agencies in Los Angeles, and it's got the pyramid with the all-seeing eye. As we expected. What, Chubbs? It's over here grumbling.
From LeBron James to Dolly Parton to Matt Rife to Beyonce. The two largest stakeholders of the CAA are Henry Pennell and Salma Hayek. That's not all they own. They own French football clubs, they own historic French wine estates and multiple vineyards. They have a very extensive art collection. We'll get there. And a portfolio of luxury brands, one of them specifically being Kering, which umbrellas all the brands the elites basically wear. Gucci, Saint Laurent, Balenciaga. The family also owns the French news magazine, Le Point. Talk about controlling the narrative. They also own a website called Christie's Auction House, which this is what it looks like when opening their website. Looks very rich, looks very 1%, looks very elite. However, when you go to the search bar and you type in Jake and Dinesh Chapman, you begin to find some very disturbing art, some referencing cannibalism, some referencing children with human parts on their face. In fact, some of it is so explicit that it's not available in my region. Hayek dressed up as for Halloween not that long ago. It's just pretend, right? Right. It's
Yeah, remember that?
pretend.
She
We
did
know-
a super creepy video where she was like eating a
pretend,
person.
Right? Right.
It seemed like the way what was it? That turkey right there. But yeah, just the way it all was filmed, as you can see, it was pretty gross, and it looked like gave the impression that she was eating a person. And to find out how incredibly wealthy and powerful her husband is, for sure, in that kind of an industry, it's like, oh, it kind of makes sense. If anybody is dealing with devils, I'm just saying, you know.
It's just pretend. We know Salma Hayek and Kim Kardashian are close. Even after the Balenciaga scandal, Kim K still never wavered her loyalty to Salma. In fact, you know that $5 million Basquiat painting that was accidentally leaked by Kris Jenner? It's actually alleged that Christie's Auction House was where she purchased the painting back in 2017. Here is the said painting that Kim purchased for around $5 million. And by the way, this is the same night they had Ariana Grande over for that Wicked premiere sleepover party. And it's just interesting with what they claim Basquiat and his art was
Look at that.
capable of, and what has happened to Ariana Grande since taking the role of Glinda. It really makes me wonder what is happening to these celebrities.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are definitely changing drastically. Sadly. Even Bradley Cooper looks so different now. I saw an interview with him. he's in some new movie, and it's just like, well, you can really tell he made changes. Oh, this is just kind of a headline, I guess, but it's pretty crazy. It goes to show you how more and more irrelevant celebrities are, Hollywood, all this mainstream Hollywood movies, all that, man. More and more becoming irrelevant. And again, the idea of celebrities, and, influencers, in quotes, that's really taken over, online. So it really has. And it's a very interesting threshold, but also I say a sign of the end of the fourth age. These old constructs falling apart that we've also known and cherished for so many years, because it's all making way for this one final system. Just like Netflix buying up its third highest competitor, again, it's just more of everything coming together, melting together into one, So now the Oscars are going to move from ABC to YouTube in just a few years. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? In a seismic shift from one of television's marquee events, which nobody really watches anymore, the Academy Awards will depart ABC and begin streaming on YouTube beginning in 2029. So there you go. I don't know if you watch. I always watch it just to see the symbols. And
Listen to what these news people
the symbols and whatever they're putting in what kind of entertainment they've got. Half of college kids are handicapped now, in quotes. Yeah, here's one that's really come out over the last few weeks. It's a real shame to hear this, but not a surprise, because the system has kind of pussified, if you will, people so much here in our country. Also in Europe, parts of Europe, but check this out.
To what these news people said about the situation at Ivy League schools.
The number of students who are registered as having a disability is skyrocketing at prestigious universities in the U.S. That is according to an article from The Atlantic that's been getting a lot of traction online.
Now, disabled students can receive a variety of special accommodations from their schools. Many of those accommodations are considered standard and are not controversial, but others, such as giving the students extra time to complete exams, have become a point of contention by those who believe they're being exploited. The article reads in part, quote, "Professors now struggle to accommodate the many students with an official disability designation, which may entitle them to extra time, a distraction-free environment, or the use of otherwise prohibited technology. At Brown and Harvard, more than 20% of undergraduates are registered as disabled. 38% of Stanford undergraduates are registered as having a disability. The most common and most,
The most common and most contentious accommodation is the granting of extra time on exams. For students with learning disabilities, the extra time may be necessary to complete the test, but unlike a wheelchair ramp, this kind of accommodation can be exploited. And the article goes on to describe some of the more unusual accommodations, such as students with social anxiety getting exemptions from being called on by their professors to answer questions, and one administrator at a public college in California says a student there got permission to bring their mother to class.
I want to tell everyone, I was early to this. I laid the groundwork for don't call on me because I have anxiety. I invented that like 10 years ago. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's bad. But I saw this wave of like political correctness coming where like, oh, I'm really stressed out today. Oh, go home, take the test tomorrow. Like I saw that happening and I took advantage of it. And now here we are, 38% of Stanford students are disabled. To get extra time on tests, extra tech help, distraction-free environment.
Right, so yeah, shameful. So yeah, that's a story I've been seeing circulating recently. A lot of people have been talking about it. I want to throw that into the ring, if you will. Breaking in a massive move, President Trump... Oh, this is, man, guys, this is massive, man. It really is. Massive, even an understatement. President Trump reclassified marijuana from Schedule 1 all the way to a Schedule 3 drug, placing it in the same category as Tylenol with codeine. This is incredible, man. It's amazing. Especially if you consider us Gen Xers remember a time where that was just considered the big devil drug, marijuana. And there's people going to jail for like 20 years, all these people always getting busted for it. Huge, big deal back then. I remember when it was like really, really big deal and, added an edge, whenever you wanted to find it. And sometimes had to go some shady routes, but definitely gave you stories to tell, that's for sure. Either way, all that's changed now, but let's check this out here from President Donald J. Trump.
Asking Congress to reconsider its classification of hemp-derived CBD to ensure seniors can access CBD products they have found beneficial for pain, and other reasons, some people are literally dying, and they're dying with tremendous pain, and this can, in many cases, literally stop it. And they have their senses about them, as opposed to painkillers, which don't allow that, don't allow them to die with dignity, frankly. I promise to be the president of common sense, and that is exactly what we're doing. This is really something having to do with common sense. And it's something having to do with the fact that so many people that I respect ask me to do it. People that are having problems, big problems. They are having big problems with illness, with cancer in particular. I now want to ask Dr. Oz to say a few words, followed by Dr. Braun, Dr. Casseret.
Good stuff, man. I love to see it. Finally, I mean, you know, but still, I mean, but yes, I mean, so many people. That was such a demonized. Somebody in chat, Love Danya, I think, said Love Danya. Something about the how ridiculous the commercials were in the 80s. Yeah, there were so many anti-that particular drug commercials and craziness, man, craziness. Look at us now. But speaking of craziness, here's another one. This is just another one to throw on the heap as far as signs of the times go and where we're headed. It's for the post-human existence, I call it. But American works in a container shipyard on the West Coast. He shows this entire area now has been fully automated with no humans allowed. Every vehicle you see moving is automation. All jobs have been replaced with technology. Even the cranes are automated. He explains how each step works. Man, this is huge. I mean, again, it's happening already. It's like, they're taking our jobs. System keeps people trapped on that, and some of that was true, but not to this level. Look how quickly this has happened. That they truly are taking your jobs, the robots.
Good morning, everybody. Check out how this yard works. So this side of the fence line back here is all automated. There's no humans allowed. You can see all the robots moving around. They're called AGVs, automated guided vehicles. So they're all breeding containers of the ship and taking them from the ship. Then they take them over here to the yard. And then these cranes in the yard are all automated. They put them in the yard, and then the truckers on the back side over there will take them off to wherever they go, or they'll take them to the rails, which is in the back there also. There's a rail yard where we load the trains up. You can see it's pretty crazy, man. This is the only terminal on the West Coast that actually is fully automated like this. There's only one. I mean, there's so many terminals up and down the West Coast. This is the only one that's automated. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to work here. But I tell you what, these hammerhead cranes that we operate here, they're real easy on my back. The way they're designed, the way the seat is designed, is a lot better on my body. You can see this. Here goes the automated crane. I don't know what's going on. It's moving that container somewhere, if it's put in the yard or if it's coming out to put it on an AGV. But there's like 80 of those cranes out there, and the yard goes way back that way over there. So, yeah, pretty wild, man. Crazy stuff. Anyway, you guys have a blessed day, people. Be nice to each other.
All right, thanks, sir. Thanks, Stanimal. 18, it seems, is his name. What? Be louder. The people want to hear from you, man. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is breaking it down with just how naughty Akhenaten has been. Obama, I mean, sorry.
News alert, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing a bombshell report today. It shows a conspiracy by a sitting president, Barack Obama, and his intel agencies to sabotage the president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate, and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Gabbard got her hands on a House intel report that's been locked away in a CIA vault for almost a decade. Investigators spent over 2,000 hours looking into how the Russia hoax was born, interviewing 20 CIA and FBI officials. And it turns out that the Obama administration doctored the intelligence to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election. A month after Trump beat Hillary, Barack Obama wasn't satisfied with his intelligence reporting and ordered his CIA director to create a new assessment of how Russia interfered with the election. This was a highly unusual move. John Brennan handpicked 5 CIA analysts to write the assessment, and they were siloed. None of them knew what the other was doing, and only one analyst was in charge of drafting this report. There was nothing routine about this, and it was a rush job to publish before Trump was sworn in. Nothing was coordinated with the other intelligence agencies either. Basically, this was home cooking for Barack Obama. There were 4 key elements from the assessment that were repeated over and over again and formed the basis of the Russia hoax and the Robert Mueller witch hunt.
All right, I'm going to stop there. We don't need the full report, but we'll see if anything comes of it. That's always the real big question. Will they do anything? NASCAR champion Greg Biffle, his wife, daughter, and son passed away because their plane went down in North Carolina. Says the family was headed to spend the afternoon with him. Unfortunately, it says it can be confirmed. But you know, he had a really cool history. In 2024, Biffle provided life-saving assistance to Hurricane Helene victims by flying helicopters to the harder-to-reach areas to deliver supplies and resources. He was named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers in 2023 also. And here's a video of him. Just seems like a really great dude.
Gear over here. These are sweatshirts, raincoats, chaps, 2-stroke oil, all of this stuff, and the chainsaws. Just came in, pallets of chainsaws. Not 1, not 2. We've got 4 pallets. They're still unloading them. All this stuff is going to be in Burnsville area tomorrow. We'll announce where at, but 1 per family, so everybody can get one and try and get their lives back together. 1 per family. We're going to get up there and we're going to have tanker trucks with gas and diesel. So these cans are going to be full. If you want to mix it with the 2-stroke oil, when you take your chainsaw, that's your choice. And we'll be filling cars, bring your own can, trucks, till we're out.
How about that? What a great guy, right? He's a great dude. So sorry for remaining family of his. It's quite the loss. But I guess some may say at least they all got to go together. It says in 2 to 3 years, there will be no way to tell what's real or what's not. Yeah, or I think it'll be less. And it says, I have no idea how humanity will deal with this enormous problem. And yeah, just this is a pretty incredible example what somebody's doing with their AI programming. Check this out if you haven't seen this one. Honestly, right? It's just, I mean, it's next level already, this stuff here. Next level. Right, Chubbs? Trying to get him to talk. Skywatcher confirms on record that large portions of the real UFO truth were deliberately left out of Amazon Prime blockbuster documentary The Age of Disclosure because the full truth, in quotes, would have scared people too much, unquote. Says Age of Disclosure 2.0 is already in the works. Let's see what this young man has to say.
I will say, and this is public knowledge, so I'm not saying anything that I'm not supposed to hear. I went to the screening of Age of Disclosure in LA. They had a live panel there. And they had talked about in there, and I actually know some of the people from the film as well. Some more than others. There's things that they wanted to put in there that they did not. So the Age of Disclosure, as amazing as that is, and as much as I understand the people that are in it, they are government employees who want the truth to come out. There's aspects, and they said this outright, that were too crazy for people to believe. And they thought it was a stone throw too far for the average person who's uninitiated with it. So age of disclosure 2, if that comes out, I think they're going to push that envelope more. I will say, and this is public knowledge, so I'm not saying anything that I'm not supposed to here. I went to the screening of Age of Disclosure in LA. They had a live panel there. And they had talked about in there, and I actually know some of the people from the film as well, some more than others. There's things that they wanted to put in there that they did not. So the Age of Disclosure, as amazing as that is, and as much as I understand the people that are in it, they are government employees who want the truth to come out. There's aspects, and they said this outright, that were too crazy for people to believe. And they thought it was a stone throw too far for the average person who's uninitiated with it. So Age of Disclosure 2, if that comes out, I think they're going to push that envelope more. I will say, and this is public knowledge, so I'm not saying anything that I'm not supposed to here. I went to the screening of Age of Disclosure in LA. They had a live panel.
Oh, my bad. It started back over, but okay. Well, I wonder, I'm going to watch it. I still haven't seen it, but I'm assuming they talk about the interdimensional, how, more of a connection to the spirit that all this stuff is, because they've talked about it outside of there, like Luna, she's talked about it, Anna Paulina Luna, but we'll see. But maybe that's the stuff they left out this time around. I'm not sure, because that is the scariest stuff, the truth of it, the real truth. Man suspected in Brown University bang bang and MIT professor's removal from this realm, officials say. So that's kind of wild. Same dude. Says, I don't believe media. Right there. All right. So yeah, interesting. So I haven't looked much into those personally. I think I've got some clips from Monday to share. We'll talk maybe more about it then. But so I don't know. Maybe some of you guys have looked into it. Maybe you're seeing some of the same signs whenever we find a double F, a false one, right, taking place. Let me know if you've seen anything interesting in that. I would imagine there's something there with that kind of a headline. Hundreds of... here's a shout out to my home state, and it's good to see. You can't mess with this. I love it. Still the good heart of Oklahoma, still out here, good people. Stand their ground, love their people, their communities. But hundreds of residents filled Broken Arrow, Oklahoma Planning Commission chamber with crowds lining the walls and spilling into overflow rooms as public comment and a vote took place on whether to approve or deny the development of a Islamic temple in the Tulsa suburb. So that's the people right here saying, no, we're not having that here. It's good to see. There you go, Okies. So that's it, little crowd shot. But I think I've got some more from that. Some people speaking out, which is incredibly important because that's what's coming all over the place. That spread of that religion in particular. I mean, conspiracy theorists are starting to claim that there is an underworld in Venezuela. This is the claim here. That's, quote, thawing a dragon. Multiple videos on social media are appearing of people claiming that this dragon actually exists. Check this out. This is wild. I haven't heard this one before. Yeah, because Venezuela's in the news. There's a lot happening between our country and Venezuela right now. May even go to a wartime situation soon.
Wait a minute. So when nobody gonna tell me about this dragon that's supposed to be this massive dragon that's supposed to be in the waters of the Venezuela waters? Was nobody gonna tell me this? That it's an underworld in Venezuela, that the U.S. is really out there? Was nobody gonna tell me this? Yeah, man, listen, I just found out. It's an underworld in Venezuela that the U.S. is out there. And it's a massive dragon that's thawing out that they trying to stop. They say the veil getting thin. What, nobody gonna tell me this though? I'm sitting up here thinking the whole time, I'm thinking it's about the oil, but it's really an underworld over there in Venezuela that they trying to prevent. What's up? What's to it? What's going on? Cause I listen, this the first time I done heard about it today, man. Like, somebody, man, they been inboxing me telling me about it, man. Y'all, hey, what y'all think?
I don't know. I was kind of hoping he was going to show a clip or something because I haven't heard a whole lot about this. But I wonder if we put Venezuela dragon, if anything comes up. We got this guy again, but still, I want to see the videos of people claiming it, you know? Like some real claims about this. But all I'm seeing is some guy just piping off about it online, so that's not a good sign. You know? You got to bring the receipts, as the kids say. Especially if you're going to make a claim that's wild. So yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. Alright, moving on then for now. Maybe something's out there, just not on X. This is Rob Schneider talking about the new movie David. It's interesting. This is coming out, new animated movie from Angel Studios, who really dropped the ball, unfortunately, signing off on doing this retake on Animal Farm, wacky comedy about the evils of capitalism, where the original story was the evils of communism, which is still a danger and still spreading. And so, it's one of those things. Hollywood flipped it over again. Unfortunately, Angel Studios is attached to it. But they have put out a lot of really good family-type products, like the best you'll get, I think, in the current Beast system. So, but here he is talking about something happening with David, the story of David. It's a new animated movie coming out from Angel Studios now. And I've seen this story elsewhere. It's a real shame. We'll see.
Hi, this is Rob Schneider.
Hi.
I just heard something kind of crazy. That the studio Goliaths, Disney, and Paramount are telling the movie theaters to limit the number of screens that is going to Angel Studios' new movie, David vs. Goliath. Kind of ironic that the Goliaths, Disney, and Paramount are doing that to the little movie company, Angel Studios, David vs. Goliath. Hey, I saw the film. It's terrific. It opens tomorrow, December 19th. I hope you'll go see it with your family. You'll love it, I promise you. Have a Merry Christmas. Hi, this is Rob.
Thanks, sir. But yeah, I'd seen that story around as well, that they're teaming up and I guess trying to get some of these AMCs, these big theaters, to not play it. Hopefully we'll find some more proof of that. Meanwhile, in Germany, and here's another just really... This is, again, very dystopian when I see stuff like this. It's really screwy. Like, it'd make a horror sci-fi movie. But meanwhile, in Germany, childless and jobless liberals have found a brand new hobby called hobby dogging, which involves walking and training an imaginary dog. And people wonder why Europeans are going extinct. Exactly. It's like, meanwhile, your country's being run over, and everything's changing quickly. Your culture's changing quickly to something completely different and dangerous for you, but instead we're going to go do this out in the field, which is exactly the way the devil wants them, and the system. Perfect prey,
Una práctica en la que personas salen a pasear con correas, pero sin un perro real. Se presenta como una alternativa para amantes de los animales que no quieren gastos veterinarios, pelos en casa, ladridos, ni recoger...
Okay, we'll cut that. So there you go. Nonsense. Filling your days with just nonsense, Meanwhile, there's like actual real danger happening, losing your country. But that's okay. Europe's erupting and they don't want you to see it, it says. Across France and the EU, farmers are rising up. Roads blocked, capitals under pressure, Brussels on edge. Why? Because governments and EU institutions are destroying agriculture instead of protecting it. All right, let's see what this young man has to say.
Breaking news. Europe is erupting, and the media don't want you to see it. Farmers are rising up across France and across Europe. Highways blocked, capitals under pressure, Brussels on edge, because governments and EU institutions are destroying agriculture instead of protecting it. Mass culling of livestock under brutal sanitary policies. Free trade deals like Mercosur flooding Europe with cheaper imports that don't meet European standards. Farm incomes collapsing, costs exploding, regulations strangling families who've worked the land for generations. And when farmers speak up, they're ignored, they're repressed, and they're hit with water cannons and tear gas for defending their right to survival. Let this sink in. No farmers equals no food sovereignty. No farms equals no future. This is what happens when bureaucrats rule from offices and forget who actually feeds the nation. Stand with farmers, share the truth, because once the farmers are gone, it's already too late. God bless Europe.
Yeah, it's getting crazy out there. Look at that. But we don't hear a lot about it, but I'd love to see it. It shows the people are aware. They're standing together. You know? It's crazy, man, right? Chaos around the world. The world needs Jesus. But unfortunately, someone's coming here first. So it looks like Australia's social media ban for under 16s is a colossal failure. Let's see what this is all about.
I got messages from Snapchat asking me to verify my age, and then I got locked out.
So what did you do?
I got my friend to use her face to verify my age.
How big a deal is it for you to lose access to Snapchat, and why is it a big deal?
I'd say it's a pretty big deal, as that's how I hang out with my friends. That's how I spend my weekends and my holidays.
On day one, for these girls and their friends, it was all about workarounds.
They had asked like a few times for me to do face like ID, and I got my sister to do mine. But then I've also used like a VPN, and I've changed my region on settings for it to be like a different country. So I've used like United States, so it doesn't ban me.
Turns out, for those in the know, there are plenty of tricks.
So TikTok doesn't only do facial scans, it also checks your algorithm and what you've liked and stuff. So I searched up things that I think an older person would search up. So
Such as?
banking, furniture, driving lessons, car recommendations, and gambling.
This was all to make TikTok think you were a bit older.
Yeah, and I think it worked.
1 week later, there's been no impact on Harper's social media.
No changes. I haven't been logged out of any account on Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. I've all kept it all. No change at all.
A week into Australia's world-leading social media ban, Harper's not impressed.
I think it hasn't been thought out very well. There's too many ways to get around it, and people are smart. They know how to get around any kind of loophole, and they can just make new accounts and log on different devices. So I don't think it's been very successful so far.
A government spokesperson told 730 it anticipated the ban would not be perfect. The onus is on social media companies to take reasonable steps to deactivate accounts for under 16s.
Oh boy.
The government says if they fail to do that, platforms will face fines of up to $49.5 million.
Oh my gosh.
These girls think a social media ban could work, but the focus should be on younger users.
I think 16 is a bit of a higher number for the ban. I think it should probably be like lower, like primary school, and then like
12.
start of high school having more social media.
Across Australia, those under 16 are starting their day a little differently, without social media.
This guy's a dork.
As for the Prime Minister's message about this,
a dangerous
well,
dork.
He's not getting rave reviews.
If you look on his account and about the videos about the ban, all the comments are just of the under 16s just absolutely just destroying him. It's just really funny. You can just see all the comments just saying, oh, you can't catch me. It's up just flaming him kind of. And there's, I know who I'm not voting for in a few years.
These girls have all used social media for a few years.
All right, I'm going to stop there. It's pretty much it. But I love that just because it shows there's that natural rebellious spirit in all the youngsters, no matter what generation, against the system when they can tell the system's doing something wrong. So it's kind of cool to see, man. I like to see it. I like to see some of these kids standing up, you know, using their moxie online, all their smarts with online, and they can pull together, you know, get people together, get their points across, start a little revolution. Who knows? But I love to see it. It's good to see it. These kids will figure out a way. These children, they always figure out a way. Like we would have done the same thing back in our day. You know, you find a way to get around it, whatever it is. It says, did you know the UFO that caused the shutdown of Hangzhou Airport in China in 2010 reappeared on an Australian beach 3 years later? So here's some examples of it. It's a pretty good catch here. This is one of those that definitely wanted to be seen. Little orbs popping up. Little Junior popped up. Look at him. Little Junior. An adorable little demonic spirit. Little Junior. Playing games. And then look on the little thing, the big thing below. It looks like there's a bunch of orbs on top of it. Or is that a ship? An actual craft. Sometimes there's a real craft, right? Sometimes it's an illusion. They can shift. They can be whatever. It's weird though. It looks like there's 4 of them standing at the ready on top of that saucer looking thing or tube. There's another one. Look at that. Oh, see, there's one of those with the tails. It's one thing they do a lot. We've seen that. They almost look like fireworks, but they're not fireworks. It's these things acting out, putting on a show. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. It looks like a big platform in the sky with a bunch of those orbs standing at the ready. Ready for their orders. Or for their orbers. I'll be here all week, folks. Tip your waitress. Try the veal. Whoa, that's a good capture. Look at that. Man, look how big that ship is. It looks like a ship now. Looks like a huge platform floating above the sky. It's got a bunch of those orbs on top of it at the ready. Imagine living right there, seeing that fly by, wanting to be seen. It's quite the capture. Look at those lights. You're just out on the beach for a walk. Boom. There we go. Thought that was a good one. Good captures. So weird. Look at that. Thing's putting on a show.
Everything from a hidden U.S. bomber to an elaborate man-made hoax.
Look at that. It's weird. It really does look like a formation of orbs. So creepy. Good capture, though. I want to say thanks, Brian Baker, and all who sent messages today and sent donations. Thank you very much. Sorry if I miss anybody or miss any names in chat, 'cause I'm not on it constantly through the show, but I do try to look up and keep up there and say hi to people. So yeah, sorry if I've missed anybody here. But says, blessings, brother KJ. Hey, good to see you, Brian. Always enjoy spending my Saturday learning about stuff that will or can hurt us spiritually. But thank be to God the Father, we have Jesus to protect us, heal us, and lift our spirits when we need it. Absolutely, man. Excellent message. Best thing ever to remember, for sure. There's no fear at all. We're going to be all right. Beyond all right. Man, look how crazy this is, because where I live, the gas is super cheap right now. The difference between gas prices in Texas and California just one day apart. Look at this.
There you go. How much cheaper you want? There you go. There you go. How much cheaper you want it? That's in Denton, Texas, right there, buddy. Under $2.
It's been amazing.
Trump economics. He promised lower gas. He gave it to us. I don't know no Jackson. I know Ben Frankie. What the hell? Gotta take my pills. I get too cranky. What the hell?
Can't listen to that. But look at that right there. That's so crazy, man. 195. That's about where we're at over here right now. Maybe a little over, but still around $2 to 789. That's on the cheap end. Isn't that a shame? Thanks, L. Ivy. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's just a shame. But yeah, it's like that. California, man. I don't know how you guys are making it out there, who's living out there still. Guess it depends on exactly where you're at. This was interesting. It's Vladimir Putin says Russia is at war against Satanism, the occult, and sorcery.
Occult services, sorcerers. This is nonsense. I truly agree with you. Satanism and occult services, sorcerers. This is nonsense. That is something that confuses people, brings them to darkness, and affects them greatly. Affects their psyche, their morale. And we need to fight against it, but do it carefully without violating human rights. Your colleagues have mentioned it.
So it's pretty interesting. This is from RT, Russia Today. You decide. But that's pretty interesting, isn't it? Because it really is the truth. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. But then all the symbolism and everything around Vladimir Putin, some might say he's also in there too. As it's the black hats versus the white hats, if you will, checkered floor. Good guys, bad guys, different agendas, same team in a sense, all that stuff, right? Says this is what a $7 pizza looks like now. A Walmart shopper opens a sealed, this is crazy, y'all. A Walmart shopper opens a sealed California pizza kitchen, frozen pizza, and then wait till you see what he finds. And I never bought this one. I don't really buy a lot of frozen stuff anyway, but fish sticks. I wish there's a way. I know you like fish sticks. I really, I love fish sticks, and I haven't had them in a while. But if I get frozen stuff, that's what I would want to get. I just wish there's. I guess I could make my own. I need to look up a recipe and figure it out. I'm sure that it's not that hard. Okay, but enough about me and fish sticks. Check this out.
So I'm going to show you guys what I just found. This is the pizza that we got from Walmart.
Oh, but I'm saying I never bought this because I thought it was a fancier one. I thought this is supposed to be the really good stuff.
You guys, what I just found. This is the pizza that we got from Walmart. Okay? Okay. Look at this. This is the pizza that they gave me. It's not opened. Still in the plastic. They forgot the crust. Crispy thin crust. They put the sauce. This is cardboard. This is what it usually sits on. They put the cheese, chicken, and barbecue chicken recipe on cardboard. This is on cardboard. Are we watching this? They forgot the crust. This is what I paid $7 for? Cardboard Do we need a closer look at this?
That's crazy, man.
Are we out of our minds? This is cardboard.
Lame.
This is cardboard on my this isn't crispy thin crust. Cardboard covered with pizza toppings. Walmart and California Pizza Kitchen, I want my money back. Now. No artificial flavors, preservative-free crust. Preservative-free crust. Are we sure about that? This is what it should look like. This is the cardboard. Under it, under the crust, and then the crust is on top. This is a crispy thin crust. I got two because I usually eat two. Not in one sitting, I'm not that fat. But now I only have one. And the other one's in the garbage. This is a pizza crust. This is pizza. Are we seeing this together? This is...
All right, I think we got the point, but that's nuts, isn't it? We've seen a lot of these strange food type things happening, product going down, quality. So we watch a lot of that on Monday. Even seen full-on things being mislabeled, like, you open up a can of green beans and it's yams, things like that happening. Update, big announcement from Donald Trump here about tariff dividend and checks for Americans. Let's check this out. No pun intended.
We're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing. So we're doing a lot of good work. And the numbers were reported so incorrectly. The real numbers are trillions of dollars have been taken in or gotten in terms of investment from the tariffs. And so if that were ever reversed, it would be a disaster. Frankly, it would be a national security problem for our country. And nobody thinks it's going to be reversed. I think we had a very good court case. As you know, it's before the Supreme Court right now. But if that were ever reversed, people are saying, oh, it's $1 billion. Some people said, oh, it's $2 billion. Well, that obviously we can handle very easily. But this is trillions of dollars we're talking about in terms of the tariff income and all the investment income that's come into our country. We're going to issue a dividend to our...
So we'll see. There you go, man. Maybe you'll get a check for a couple grand. He just sent out a whole bunch of checks to military members for $17.76 apiece, I believe. That was recently. New NASA images, 3-Eye Atlas. NASA just released stunning new photos of 3-Eye Atlas taken on December 19th, yesterday, and they're some of the closest, clearest views we've seen so far. Captured from orbit, these images show the object streaking past Earth with a brilliant, elongated tail, illuminated against our planet's glowing atmosphere edge. The detail is unreal. Its trajectory, brightness, and structure are now more visible than ever. So let's check some of these images out then. Whoa, that is pretty cool. Look at that. It's fancy. Another one. Cute little guy. Gotta say, as far as comments go. Some look all mangled and messed up, but this one's a cute one. Alright, see if anything develops more from the Comet 3-Eye Atlas story. What shall happen? Oh boy. Got a video down. Video down. Alert, alert. Here's a board member from... Here's another one. Some of these churches. This is Broken Arrow also. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I mean, people. Isn't this the same city that was standing up against the Islam? I'm not sure. Anyway, because if it is... Am I right? You guys please let me know in chat. I totally missed that, but... Because we just watched a story about a bunch of people in Oklahoma in one of the towns standing up against Islam coming in. Were they in Broken Arrow? You guys remember? In live chat? Let me know yes or no, please. Appreciate it. I'm curious because there's a point to make. The same town. Okay, thanks, Denise Marie. I thought so. Well, isn't that interesting? Because as Islam, if you will, is coming in, trying to take over the town, this is your church leadership. This is the kind of nonsense that these people are doing. And I don't even know if I can play it because they're playing ACD's song Thunderstruck during the Christmas church's Christmas show. but instead he's replacing the lyrics with Frosty the Snowman. But when I see stuff like this, I just see a more ego type stuff. Look how cool we are. We're hip, playing a rock song in church. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... So anyway, you get your church leadership in town goofing around doing stuff like this, and you got Slom, on the takeover out there. I just think it's interesting how it lines up. Anyway, I think you kind of get my point. Like, same town, very interesting. Slom taking over, trying to, and you got these goofballs, in the big churches doing stuff like this. I just, I don't know. It's to me, I don't know. And I get you can have some fun, you can do things, but I mean, I don't know, man. Something about it. Never been a big fan of like the big shows in these churches and things, because it always makes me think back to our Savior and how simple he lived. You know what I mean? He was a minimalist, which I really love that about him. I get that because I am too. Ultimate minimalist, and Jesus was, and yeah, wasn't about the flash, and super humble, obviously, because he could have called down a legion of angels to do anything he ever wanted, to wipe anybody out, to save him, and more. He could do whatever. He could snap his fingers and change reality, I guess, right? I mean, he's the creator of all things, so it all needed to play out for a reason. There's a huge reason for all of it. And at stake is our soul. Like, for real, our soul is at stake. So please choose Jesus, man. Most important decision you could ever make. Got to do it, Don't know if you'll be here tomorrow. You never know. Take it from somebody who's had a couple of heart attacks. Life is short. Can be. And shorter for some than others. So hopefully you wind up on the right side of that. That's the idea. Governor Tim Walz, man, they're really going after Minnesota. It's been pretty impressive, I have to say, if it's all real. I know some people might say I'm not trying to black pill, but when I say that, it's mean as long as we see something happen, then I'll believe it all. That's what I want to see, like real action, someone getting in trouble, someone having to go to jail. Governor Tim Walz is in panic mode, revealing he's being informed huge amounts of federal dollars are may be pulled from Minnesota because of massive fraud. He says CDLs, commercial driver license, transportation funding, you name it, can all be pulled. Yeah, they probably are. So they're one of the states that's giving them out. All right, let's check it out. He's crying because the federal government is coming after him. So again, I do like to see some action, at least,
Is one of, I don't want to say the number, it's countless numbers. Every night I get an update on this of the threats to our federal money on everything we do. Because look, right now it's very clear. The entire federal government is weaponized against Minnesota.
Timmy.
And the issues of things that should be states' rights, states to control, they're threatening us with this. And this is what happens when you have a floundering presidency, and it is about those ballrooms and everything else.
Whoa.
Now we're back on transgender folks, and these are healthcare providers providing the best guidance to parents and children to get their care. So we're assessing what it means. It's on every front. It's CDLs, it's transportation money, it's money across the board that they have weaponized.
Timmy.
There's one of, I don't want to say the numbers.
That's what happens. I love seeing these these politicians squirm when they get caught. It's nice to see. I love it, actually. He could have been the VP. It's pretty crazy to think. You know what I mean? MIT professor taken out in his home was working on technology that could have broken the energy system. MIT professor of nuclear science and engineering and of physics, Nuno Lorio, was taken out inside of his own home and later passed away at a local hospital. Police say no motive has been announced, no suspect identified. What's setting off alarm bells is what he's researching. He was working on 2 frontier technologies at MIT, nuclear fusion stabilization, quantum computing. Says these are civilization-level technologies with massive economic and geopolitical consequences. Some deep stuff, man. So authorities insist there's no announced connection between his research and the Bang Bang, but people are asking the uncomfortable questions. So just a little bit of a background on what's going on with that. It's interesting. Then we had that story earlier where they say they caught the guy and he's the same man from the day before, or earlier, the other attack. The assistant U.S. attorney investigating the Somali fraud in Minnesota says as much as $18 billion. Look at this. So here's some of the story. What's developing out there.
All about the iceberg. I saw ahead. Something fraud that's much larger than what's been visible to the public. When I said that, it wasn't hyperbole or rhetoric. It was a warning. And today I want to talk and I want to show here a sense of what that iceberg looks like, because I think people deserve to know what that is and how big this problem is, because we can't solve the problem until we grapple with the size of it. So the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services pulled the claims data for these 14 programs dating back to 2018. And those 14 programs in Minnesota have cost $18 billion since 2018, and more than $3.5 billion in 2024 alone. So that's a sense of the magnitude of the problem. These are the 14 Medicaid programs, which is just a part of Medicaid, these waivered services that have been flagged as having issues with program integrity and fraud. Now, I'm sure everyone is wondering how much of this $18 billion was fraud.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the $1 million question, that's the $18 billion question. The answer is far too much, and the task of all of us is not only figuring out how much of that money was fraud, because we know it's...
All right, man. Well, again, I love to see there's good people in the right positions and they're actually doing the work and uncovering things like this. Here's a crazy story, man. Made the news this week. I don't know if you guys heard about this one. Looks like it won't let me make it a big screen. I'll try again. It's from Anton Daniels' channel. All right, let's check it out.
Thing you'd want to see in your groceries: a razor blade sticking out of a loaf of bread. But police say that's exactly what Walmart discovered repeatedly this month in Biloxi, Mississippi.
We just have no way of knowing how many loaves of bread or items in the bakery were tampered with to begin with, and how many may have been sold, and over the course of what amount of time.
According to investigators, on December 5th, a customer reported finding a razor blade in a muffin from a Walmart supercenter. Then 3 days later, police say another customer found a razor blade in a loaf of bread bought from a separate Walmart store.
And then it was when there was a third report at the supercenter on December 14th, where they were like, hey, this might be something.
Investigators say surveillance video led them to this woman, 33-year-old Camille Benson,
33,
now charged with attempted mayhem. Her motive unclear. NBC News has not been able to reach Benson for comment.
When I see these stories, I wonder if is she a ultra victim with the MK, if you know what I'm saying, from one of these people connected with the 33. I'm not saying that's what it is. I wonder.
We have removed and thoroughly inspected all potentially affected products at impacted stores in Biloxi, adding customers should throw out any tampered products and visit Walmart for a refund. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News.
This is not attempted mayhem. This is attempted murder. Okay? Let me say that again for the people in the back. This has nothing to do with...
We got it. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Anton.
They filed multiple patents, and they have a patent on...
It's about Neuralink.
They filed multiple patents, and they have a patent on telepathy, telekinesis, and blind sight.
So the purpose being they're going to create a chip that is able to harness and allow people to have these abilities?
They're working on the technology to where if you have the Neuralink, you can communicate with someone via just thought. That's in your brain. That's like almost your consciousness, being able to communicate with another consciousness.
And they're manipulating.
I can't imagine having like something else besides my thoughts in my brain that I can't control.
You know what is super weird about that though? All the Neuralink facilities are posting up next to ICE facilities, and they have a new quota where they're wanting to do thousands of new implants.
They need like volunteers.
But for science, you would need pretty general population.
Average people.
Yeah.
Science has always done really well with human
Ethics,
and animals
yeah.
oh, yeah, ethically
for
with
sure.
with volunteers and research.
Yeah.
They've never used anything,
No.
towards animals or humans.
Yeah, to hurt them? Yeah, never. They would never do that. Never do that. Like, greed to them is nothing. Like, they don't care about money. They don't care about profit.
They put Neuralink in their brain to get rid of the greed.
Exactly. Neuralink.
There you go. Interesting stuff. Telepathy. It's also interesting that that's the way a lot of these so-called aliens communicate with the people when they show up in their bedrooms, or they take them on little adventures, is telepathy. We saw a lot of that last night in the Mantis show. Epstein files released. Just throwing that out there, as you know. It's just another headline. Big headline for the week. Man reveals hologram of his dead dog and it moves. Look how weird this is. This is where this technology... It's, again, more Black Mirror to me type stuff. Check this out, though. I guess this is a thing now for people. I'd never do this to my chubs. I'm also not super sentimental. I'm about moving on with things. You know what I mean? Like, that's just... I'm real hardcore about that personally. Not that I wouldn't miss chubs or I've missed anyone that's passed I've known. It's just I'm pretty quick about getting back on path and knowing that story's done, and you know what I mean? But I'd probably have to run out and get another cat pretty quick. I know that much. Let's not even think about it. It's not going to happen. I'll just say that.
So, you ever heard of a Lumina boxes? Right? It's a hologram. It's this box right here. I had a family member give it to me, and I want to show you what it does. My dog passed away, so my family member got me this, and I want to show it to you, how it works. So we put it together, and you have to scan this QR code. So after doing the QR code, this is what it looks like. This is my dog that passed away, and then let me show you what it does. I'm going to put it on top of this box. There's a hole right here. Look what it does. That's my dog.
Look at that.
That's our Bobo. Isn't that? Look what it does.
Chubs. See, I wouldn't want to look at that if it was Chubs.
That's my dog.
Got to move on. It's not going to happen, though. Just saying. That little hologram, you can kind of see through it a little bit. So hold down Control and scroll up. Someone said. Oh, it didn't work that way for me. I appreciate it. Some people tried to show me there's the buttons to use to just make the screen bigger and smaller, and I always forget what that is. There's some of these things I know. You'd think I would know or I'd be able to connect, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just forget that stuff sometimes. But thank you, though, for trying. Allegedly, here's the story with Disney and Paramount again, what's happening with that animated Disney, or David, movie coming out.
This is crazy if it's true, but I just heard that the Hollywood Goliaths, Paramount and Disney, are allegedly limiting what screens the new David movie can be shown on. Now, this is the Christmas season, right? We should be able to talk about old stories of our faith, and David and Goliath is certainly one of them. So are you telling me that the Goliaths of Paramount and Disney are stopping the little David of Angel Studios and putting David and Goliath out there? Surely that's not happening. Make sure that you go out and watch the screening and check out the movie of David and Goliath. And allegedly, if Paramount and Disney are doing this, they're just up to old tricks, and shame on them.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. But it really is a true life David versus Goliath story, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Even though they made one bad move, you can't, to me, you don't throw them into the curb. I mean, you know, they're humans. Someone in the company made a silly decision on Animal Farm, but regardless, overall they've put out a lot of, as far as what you get in the Beast system, they've put out a lot of really good family type content, you know. I think some of the best you'll find in the system as it is. It says high school girl in Washington State is saying that boys just come chill out in the locker room now because of the rules. It's a real shame, but who's surprised that the young boys aren't going to be taking advantage of stuff like this, you know?
Yeah.
And are they athletes? Are they in there swimming as well?
No, they're not. That's the thing. They're not athletes, and I don't believe they're really doing any sports at all. Just pure lounging around, hanging out in the locker room as a social space.
Okay. Now this This gets super weird. So how are they allowed to get into the girls' locker room? Did they say, "Oh, I identify as a girl"?
Yeah, I guess at school it's just you gotta look like a girl and then identify as one, and that's what gets you in. Like, I mean, it's not like we have teachers like making sure who goes or monitoring who's going in and not, and whoever. But yeah, so they just walk right in. It's free to everyone.
It's not cool.
It's bizarre. And
Yeah.
And are they athletes?
So dangerous, man. That really is. I mean, I know that not all young men are creeps, but still, there are some, and they're going to take advantage of stuff like that. And then what if it goes the next step? What if eventually one of these girls, has to endure something at the hands of one of these guys, right? Because the rules are so loose. Who's going to know, man? She ain't going to say anything, man. Nobody talks about anything around here. Just saying, that's a really horrible, dangerous situation to put those young ladies in, man. Really, really dangerous. In their locker room, it's completely inappropriate, man. I'm just saying, this. This is so insanely dystopian. California residents driving through downtown LA, and this is what he sees. Yeah, I went down through downtown LA when I lived in Los Angeles a few times. They had a place down there, I think it was called Market Street or something. Anyway, there was kind of a big, like a flea market basically out there. It was really good too. You could find all kinds of cool stuff from all these different countries. But real close to that, they had Skid Row, but it's apparently grown and gotten a lot worse since I was out there. It was bad at the time, but now look at this. It's just like, wow. Not good. I've seen worse, though, online. It's just a short video of it, but that's not a good thing. It's not good. It's sad. A lot of people live in those kind of conditions, Says what's happening in Washington State is crazy. Says I know why the gov and traditional media isn't addressing it, but it's still frustrating. All right, let's check it out.
I never thought we'd be using the farm as a boat launch.
Whoa, look at that. Wow.
Not a lake we're on, this is a farm.
Look at all those pumpkins.
Cats
Thousands.
over there. You see the cats?
Stranded cats. Oh boy.
See him? Those yours?
Look at that. Poor kitties. How deep those trees are under. Poor pumpkins.
Lake Carpentino.
It's a lot of money, though, unfortunately. That a shame? Yeah, definitely got to keep those folks in our prayers. Suffering out there. Floods and fires, right? There's something growing in Chernobyl. It's a black fungus. This is weird. I remember I did a video long ago on it, but there's a black fungus that was growing literally on Washington, D.C., on a monument and all the buildings. And it started looking kind of like a black goo, and it was really creepy. So this kind of reminded me of that a little bit, this story here. Personally.
Something growing in Chernobyl. It's a black fungus. It's insane. This fungi is growing rapidly around anything that has radioactive material, and it's literally eating the radioactive material, absorbing it, and turning it into clean energy.
Hey!
So it's a good thing.
As far as we know. Claudiosporium sapphirocerium.
Nailed it.
But it contains melanin, like in our skin.
Yeah.
We've never witnessed anything like this in nature. They're saying of how creepy it is. They actually call it the reactor shadow because it literally looks like a shadow coming from the reactor.
Just pitch black.
Black fungi grows faster in higher radiation, repairs its own damage, DNA extremely well, and uses radiation for energy. So it's literally
Feeding itself.
Yeah. NASA is now using it for experiments for potentially shielding spacecraft
What could go
with this
wrong?
black fungi.
Whoa, that's
Because
cool.
they've been testing it on the International Space Station, and it actually thrives in space.
No.
Okay, that's weird.
This is like the literal plot to like Alien.
Yeah,
this is
right.
crazy.
But they're talking about lining astronaut suits with this black fungi.
What's it do when it mixes with people, though? I mean,
Yeah.
Last of Us.
And so they're speculating that this is actually an ancient fungi, and at some point on Earth,
Like they say
there's a
about black
giant
goo.
meteor that hit and it ruined the ozone, that this fungi actually was flourishing and actually brought the Earth back to its normal.
Right. Interesting, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to resave this because I need to go look this one up. It's such a crazy one. I want to see all the truth in it and see what we can come up with on that one. That's a really good one. Spencer Pratt, of all people, you remember him. He's a reality TV star. Him and his wife, Heidi, I think her name is, but they were real famous on some, and these are shows I never watched personally, although I watch other reality shows, but they were popular in some MTV show for a long time. Then I've seen them bounce around through other reality shows throughout the years. It's one of those couples that just kind of, they've been able to make a career on it, which is pretty good for them. He also became a Christian a long time ago, got baptized, saved, and that was really cool to see. But he's really upset about how Karen Bass, handled everything out there with the fire situation.
Mayor Karen Bass just got outed for admitting that the Palisades fire was, quote, botched while on a hot mic at the end of a recent podcast. However, you can't find that video anywhere because Mayor Bass's office demanded that they scrub that footage from the internet. Well, guess what? By admitting that the Palisades fire response was botched, she just earned herself a subpoena from our lawyers for the Palisades fire lawsuit. Her stunning admission is a massive departure from the, oh, we did everything we could, it was just 100-mile-per-hour winds, BS narrative that they've been spinning to date. But in a moment of accidental candor, she let the truth slip, and this mistake will cost her dearly. She has just signaled that we were right. They did botch the fire response, and now we have good cause to call her as a witness. What did she mean by botched? What went wrong? Who screwed up? Thanks for playing, Mayor Bass. It's time for my lawyers to go fishing.
So yeah, dude seems serious. I've seen him do other posts about that too. He's standing up for the mysterious situation surrounding that whole fire. And as you know, they're all very interesting. Another one from Cash Jordan. No escape for 73,000 Somalis as Trump's removal Marines encircle Minneapolis. So here's more of what's happening in Minneapolis. It's really, really going down out there, man.
People in Minnesota are very upset that the fraud police are in town. Look at this mob assaulting. Oh no! Boy, these people should go inside and stop interfering with federal agents. Wow! And look, the agents are backing up, man. They're surrounded. Apparently, half the apartments here emptied out. They're not supposed to be here. They're Go home!
Federal prosecutors, Dana, in Minnesota have been warning and still warning that we're looking at the tip of the iceberg in terms of the extent of this fraud in Minnesota. As you mentioned, 6 new indictments and 1 guilty plea were announced yesterday as federal agents executed a search warrant on Ultimate Home Health Services, a Somali-owned home care agency. The new indictment zeroes in on the autism program called Early Intensive Developmental and Behavioral Intervention, or EIDBI, and zeroed in on housing stabilization programs. In the case of the housing stabilization programs, the Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson says defendants claim to provide housing assistance to people with mental illness, and they say the defendants submitted claims, provided no service. Thompson used the term fraud tourism, claiming 2 men from Philadelphia learned there was easy money in Minnesota, so they flew into the state, set up shop, and started billing the government. As far as defrauding autism programs, Thompson introduced one new case of a defendant recruiting parents, getting bogus documents for a diagnosis of autism for the child. The parents would then get a kickback from the money intended to treat the autistic child.
Parents were in on the fraud.
What we're seeing is programs that are
You saw some of him earlier.
These aren't companies that are providing some services but overbilling Medicare or Medicaid. These are companies that are providing essentially no services. They're essentially shell companies created to defraud the program, created to submit
That is
on a wholesale
awful.
level.
Now, the housing
And this is
stabilization
like
program for
industrial
one was
fraud
created
going
with a
on
prediction
here.
it would cost 2.6.
All right, I'll stop there. I just want to share a little bit of that, but again, good to see some actual action taking place, some fraud being exposed, and always a fan of that, me personally. Again, the files dropped, big story. Most of y'all know you can go through and find a whole bunch of the images. There's Billy with somebody blocked out. There's some a lot of redacted stuff in here. There's some more Billy in here with redacted people. That's probably Hillary. Looks about right. Just kidding. But anyway, you can find a bunch. There's a bunch of Bill Clinton that was in these. There's Ghislaine, Kevin, Mick Jagger. Who's this? Boy George, looks like. Anyway, so yeah, you can go look those up if you're interested. It's from Mavi UFO Alarm. I didn't get a chance to go through these this week, so I wasn't able to really pick and choose, but I'm sure I'll find a couple. So we'll go ahead and check a few of these out here. Here's one that I wanted to share on this one for sure. And just wanted to say thanks to you guys, man. We're about 4 hours in, almost done. A couple other videos still left, so almost finished. Still have over 900 awesome, cool, interesting, critically thinking individuals here. So thank you so very much, you guys. It's been a real pleasure hanging out this Saturday afternoon with you, man, always. So thanks again. Thank you, Tamara, for all you do. Shout out to my supporters. I'm writing my P.O. Box people back this week, so thank you if you've sent anything. And thanks for all who support the videos and shows in whichever way, man. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Subscribestar. Best place to follow. And I'll be posting something this week, although it is Christmas. So shout out also for Christmas to you if we don't get a chance to see you on Monday. Merry Christmas to you and yours, man. I hope you guys have a great one. Stay safe. Enjoy your time. All that. Right? All right, I think I'll move on from this one. Check a couple more out here from Mavi. I think that was it. Nope, here's a couple more. Mysterious moment in the skies over Moscow, Russia, from Mavi UFO Alarm. Let me check this out. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Check this out. Looks good. This is in Dubai, December 11th, 2025. Look at that. Somebody captured a perfect little pyramid. Looks like a perfect little pyramid craft floating above. And the lightning strikes. Alright, we got it. Good one. Thanks, Mavi. This looks like the little trickster lights are back. Is it the ghost lights? Looks like them. It's cloudy. Looks like they're just kind of sitting around not doing much. That's okay. Maybe it's them, maybe not. Maybe it's something else. This time around. Alright, move on from this. And last video from Mavi, UFO Alarm. And there are some cool ones it looks like on this to start. So let's check this one out. Whoa, that is a good capture. Look at that. Sorry, Chubbs. It's a good capture. Let's go check this one out. A little further away. Looks like a city. Or not a city, but a building for a second it looked like. High rise. Seen some of those. Alright, fair enough. We'll stop there. Yeah, like I said, I've somehow skipped my Mavi. I usually put him in first, but that's okay. Still, we did over 4 hours. I like to try to keep it around that anyway, if I can. So what's most important, once again, thank you all so much. It's been a real pleasure hanging out with you, man. I appreciate your time very much. At the end, I always want to share this. Remember, I'm not a preacher, pastor, priest, or prophet, but I do love Jesus very much. He's provided me, along with all your wonderful support through the years, my platforms. I've been able to stay here for a long time. And I know that it's the most important information I can share with you. Salvation's found in no one else. There is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved. And that's Jesus. Jesus also answered in the Bible, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I love it. Trying to find some short ones. He saved us. Jesus saved us, not because of righteous things that we've done. Our righteousness is like rags to the Lord, if you will. It's in the Bible. But because of his mercy, he saved us through the washing of rebirth and renewal by the Holy Spirit. So just remember, just confess with your mouth. We're all sinners, man, or you're born into this. There's a quote, sin covering, and that's a whole other story. But and Jesus is the only way to be fully redeemed. Be filled with the Holy Spirit, be connected to your Creator, the Creator of all things. Reassure that your soul will be in heaven in perfect harmony and bliss and awesomeness with all of us forever and ever and ever. But confess you're a sinner, that you want to be saved, need to be saved by Jesus. Believe in your heart, very important, that you truly understand and believe that he is the Creator, came here in the flesh. He lived a perfect life, and then he died a horrible death, was buried, resurrected 3 days later, ascended to heaven, and I always have to let you know he's coming for his bride. The Bible tells us so, which is us. So, because the 7 years of the worst time on human history is upon us, the time of the AC, we see it forming around us. I show it every week, as much as I can find. A lot of the developing stuff that's happening, that we see it. So, trust in him. It's not a fear thing, but just trust in him, please. It's not a religious thing. It's a relationship. He loves you. His precious blood sacrifice covers all your sins, past, present, and future. Your soul will be sealed till your day of redemption, so please trust him. Thanks again for your kind donations and messages today. You guys also truly appreciate it. Sorry if I missed anybody. And thanks again for following on Subscribestar or supporting the videos and shows in any which way you do. I appreciate you. I'll be setting up a show for the members here on YouTube soon, since the holidays coming this week. Probably something next week. So I'll definitely have something set up, and I look forward to it. And that's it. Let me say a prayer too. Before we go. Heavenly Father, I always got to just say thanks for all these wonderful people. Thanks for the platforms. I truly appreciate the family, the group, and community we have here. And I hope it can be a blessing to everybody and you help us to continue to be effective prayer friends and warriors for all the people who ask for prayer here. Many people do, so please help us to always continue on that. Do the best we can, just be prayer warriors for each other and anybody else who ever asks. Thank you for that. Please, I always ask you, use us in whichever way you choose to help your kingdom while you're here, and just give us the courage to do whatever it is that you're guiding us to do, and the discernment and wisdom to understand what it is, to hear you clearly. So thank you. Just thanks again also for everything you provide, and thanks again for once again, I love all these people here. So thanks for this great community and this family here. Help us all, please, with our needs in this world. Everyone has something. It comes to you quite often, but I always try to add an attitude of gratitude in here for that as well, just because we want to balance it out. But yeah, thank you. All right, Father, we love you, and in Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, guys, cool. Let me stop there. Let me bring this up right here. We'll throw a little background up here for a moment, and I'll come say hi to you guys here. Good to see you guys. Thanks again, man. All of you, I appreciate it. Once again, Merry Christmas to you, okay? Have a wonderful Christmas. It's coming up in just a few days. I'm trying to get something. Like I said, I'll probably have something on the Scariest Movie Ever channel is the plan. I may have a video come up this week. I'm not sure. I might plan a show for Friday night. I'm not sure. So let's see, man. I'm trying to figure it out. We'll work it out. We'll figure something out. For sure, okay? I'll let you guys know. If not, there might not be any live shows Thursday or Friday this week, but maybe at least a video or something up there. That's kind of the plan, at least. Have something covered, and I did want to have something up on the Scariest Movie Ever anyway, but like I said, I have to be on camera for that, so that one I'll get up, I promise, soon. Let me see what else we got here. Saying thanks again to you guys. Yeah, have a great Christmas. Good to see you, Pandora, Chili, Jola, Brian Baker, John Murph. Thanks again, Tamara. Oops. Thanks for all you do. Love and appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm trying to think what. So Christmas, today's the 20th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it's this week, midweek. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow. So I guess the following weekend, yeah, that'll be New Year's. So it's all happening so quick. It's so crazy, man, isn't it? Buckle up, right? All right, anyway, man. Hey, so once again, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I've got an uncensored show over on the Mean Green Grumble channel over on Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard under the KJOZBORNE channel. And like I said, I'll have more news then if there's anything that'll be up this week. But yeah, otherwise, I'll work on it. I want to at least have a video or something, or at least my thing up on the scariest movie ever. So I'm working on it. So thanks again, man. Merry Christmas. Love you guys. You're amazing. I appreciate you, and y'all have a good one, okay? Thanks, and I'll talk to you later.